Hello, and welcome to our once weekly show. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am both a Vedic and Western astrologer, as well as a tarot and oracle card reader. And I am so excited to have the lovely Jonathan from Boomer Mill, who is also my hubby. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi. Nice to be called lovely.
Well, we're so excited to have all of you guys here with us today. And we're excited to get to your questions. We've already seen quite a few of you come in. So I'm going to go ahead and get to your comments. We've got the lovely Twisted Sushi, aka Amanda and Aurora Rose with us. It's lovely to see you, Amanda and Aurora Rose. And oh, good to see you, Scott. Thank you so much. It's good to see you too. And we went ahead and put your reading in the queue. So thank you for coming and joining us. It's lovely to see you as always. And we have a lovely Jackie on the show today. See you, Jackies. Thank you so much for all of your comments on our shorts and for supporting Milk. You've been a lifesaver. We really appreciate you so much. Dora, you're in the queue. Thank you so much for joining us. Scott, you're in the queue. Aaron, you're in the queue. Thank you for joining us. And we've been watching, if you guys know who Aaron Whitefoot is, he is part of the Yakima Indian Reservation. He's out fishing right now. So if you follow Aaron Whitefoot on YouTube, he is an absolute joy to follow. I have never seen someone with strong bars like this guy. He is fearless. Jonathan and I watched him over the weekend. We watched your most recent videos, Aaron. We're really impressed with you. It's really cool. So if you're looking for a really fun adventure channel, this guy's really cool. And of course, we always recommend the lovely Scott as well. And this is Scott here, so make sure to follow him. And the lovely Jackie as well, because they are also readers and have their own channels as well. So thank you for joining us, guys. It's an honor to have you. And oh my gosh, good to see you, Sherry. Good, it's wonderful to see you. If you guys didn't see the message that I put up on my community tab, Sherry's son had a heart attack. It was a very sudden one. And as you know, in America, we don't have the best healthcare system. And so she's got some bills. So if you want to go ahead and click on the GoFundMe, we're all doing a fundraiser for her son's medical condition and things going on with that. If you can't, mantras and prayers are very much appreciated. So thank you guys so much. Teresa is here. It's lovely to see you, Teresa. And let me know if there's any echo or if you guys are having any issues with the sound because we redid our sound system from last time. Okay. Good to see you, sweetie. Lovely. And then Heather is here as well. It's lovely to see you, Heather. Samantha, good to see you, Samantha. Oh, and by the way, Heather also has another her channel. I've been on her show before. She is fantastic. So, and she's been on mine. So go ahead and give her a follow if you can. She's just a wonderful person and a reader as well. The lovely Judy is here. It's lovely to see you, Judy. Oh, there's an underwater echo going on. Thank you. Okay. So I'll turn off Jonathan's microphone. I'm talking, and then you let me know if you can hear a difference. Okay, Jackie? Thank you. The lovely Tarot Stash, aka Gerald, is here. We call him Cowbell. So that's why the cow and the bell is there because we can't get enough of him. And it goes without saying, please subscribe to his channel. You won't regret it. It's so entertaining. We love watching him and being in the audience. Echo, thank you. Okay, is there still an echo, guys? Can you let me know? Big difference, good sound now. Okay, so we're going to have to switch our microphones off back and forth, Jonathan, to do this. So if that helps. Okay, much better. Okay, yeah, we can only do it on our end, but it's the audience that lets us know what the real sound quality is. So we appreciate you guys. Okay, so I see that there's already 7 questions in. We're still taking a few. We have Dora Romero, and then Scott Scorpio's son, and then Aaron Whitefoot, and then Twisted Sushi, aka Amanda. And then if we get any more tippers, you will be after Amanda, and then we'll get to lightning round. And how lightning round works is either Jonathan or I give you a reading. In Jonathan's case, he likes me to pull cards first, so it's just going to be a little shorter of a reading. And here's all of the things down here. So Christine, you are in the queue. Thank you, thank you. And thank you so much for letting us know it sounds better. I really appreciate that, Amanda. Thank you so much. All right. So before we get started with today's readings, I want to go into some of the astrology going on because that last eclipse that hit America, we got to find out what the evil was the other day. So that was interesting. The last time that happened was when we had a lovely this was the eclipse that we had in 2022. I believe it was April of 2022, or was it June? Okay, I'll have to look it up, but it was in Bharani. Okay, I did a whole reading on this a couple of years ago. Bharani rules the woman's womb. And when the eclipse hit this area, I knew something was going to go on with women's health in the United States, because that was a really big eclipse that we had here in America. The last one we had, obviously, that was in Ravati. Okay, if you have any planets in Ravati, those planets are purified. They're like a lotus. Okay, but unfortunately, when an eclipse goes over this area, it can cause evil to prevail in these areas. And so what we're seeing is some really big issues with these eclipses in America, and it's our job to kind of deal with them appropriately. So that's the main energy that I saw with the last eclipse, that when we had a few planets go over it, revealed what it was there for. But I will let you guys know what's going on this week. So the first thing that we have is, and this is going to be on July 5th, we have a new moon in sidereal Gemini, and this is in Punavarsu Nakshatra. And just to let you guys know, I am a Vedic and Western. I understand both tropical and sidereal calculations. These are the sidereal calculations, or these calculations in the sky right now as we speak. Okay, if you want to know the difference, I made a video on it on my channel, and you are welcome to watch it. So Punavarsu, excuse me, that nourishes a lot of like fresh beginnings. It's really focused on communication and learning. Individually, it's a time to articulate your thoughts, engage in those intellectual pursuits, because that's what Geminis love. Collectively, it can spark a lot of innovative ideas, which we need right now. But beware of misunderstandings in our discourse with others. The dual nature of Gemini can present a lot of fluctuating emotions right now, which I know we're all feeling, but it can also offer opportunities for renewing our relationships and our ideas, because we're going to have to take a little bit of a course correction here. To balance this energy, I highly recommend that you participate in meditative practices that can enhance your mental clarity and keep you on a more logical and less reactive response as we go through these times. You can consider writing as a form of self-expression and healing. I know that Heather has a beautiful poetry show that she does, and I think she has Jeff on. She's had other people on as well that submit beautiful poems. Ramon as well, and that's a really great way to kind of get out the intruding thoughts and to try to tap into your guides. But just take advantage of this period of intellectual renewal and relational rebirth with open and mindful communication with each other, and think more collectively. Okay. Then we have Saturn at 25 degrees and 11 of sidereal Aquarius, and he's going to be aspecting Mars in Aries, and this is going to be at 25 degrees and 11 of Aries. So this is a direct aspect. So you can face a lot of disciplined action when this happens. This is also on the 5th. It can also bring a little potential frustration. That's why I warned about the communications under this new moon. Individually, this aspect requires that we temper our impulsiveness with patience. That's why it's important not to get too reactive. It can slow progress, but it can ensure some clever results. So Saturn's basically just putting the brakes on and saying, hold the phone. I'm an Aquarius, sidereal Aquarius, which represents the collective, and we've got to strategize and get together, because he just went retrograde. And so this is our Hail Mary from Lord Saturn, who I know is the karmic teacher, but he's all coming to save us. Okay, so we need to basically put our heads together and collectively strategize to do this. The way to do that, to balance the energy, is we need to come from a calm place. So get into your meditation, enhance that beautiful mental clarity. You know, when societal tensions rise, the best thing that we can do is cultivate our endurance and our responsibility for our friends, our family, and our communities. So another thing you can do is wear red coral. That can strengthen your Mars, or that inner warrior, because we are in a bit of a moral war right now. And then blue sapphire can support Saturn, and he's the karmic teacher. Yay. So he can promote harmony between these powerful forces. And then we have Venus entering sidereal Cancer. But because I'm getting so many questions, I think I'm going to end there. If you do want to follow all of the transits, everything I just said, I put up as it happens the day before on my shorts, and they're all under a minute, and I try to make them entertaining. And I actually did a few funner ones this month that you guys can kind of give me some feedback back. It's not just me talking. I made some fun videos. So if you guys find that helpful, I really appreciate you for getting back to me when it comes to the forecast. They take me hours to do and a lot of research and time. I do them anyway, but having to go on camera and do all of that is a lot of work. So if you appreciate them, I really like the comments, the likes, the subscriptions. That keeps me going, and it keeps my practice alive. So before we get into your readings, thank you for being so patient with us in this. Jonathan, is there anything that you are experiencing or seeing in the collective as we did our meditation and our japa today?
Yes, as probably I'll explain every time I open my mouth, I just give you my impressions, psychically, if you will, intellectually, and also based in history. I am reliving a lot of history right now. Not This is something that I've never seen before, and I've been here for a minute. And I was so, let's say, involved and passionate about the presidential decisions and process and government at large that I went with a large group of people to Washington, D.C. from Arkansas, where I was living at the time, just to carry a sign and walk past the White House and say, "That's a bad decision. Don't do that." And it didn't really work on that president, but it worked to make him not the president. So that's really our choice now. That seems to be, and obviously everybody in this country and all other countries are going to be affected by this. I also feel, again, energetically, things are shifting. And we have the ability to shift them one way, or we have the ability to shift them the other way. I'm going to let everybody decide which way they want to go, because I don't want to affect the shift, because you never know, the feather landing on top of the boulder can tip it the wrong way. But please make a decision, and please reflect your decision, because the very few times that I've seen things go really, really bad is when there's a bad turnout, because the people just think, "Oh, this is obvious. This is so obvious. I don't even need to vote." And now we're finding it very hard to be able to vote, some of us. So anyway, please vote. Please vote for the person that you think is best for you and for your country. But vote.
Thank you, sweetie. And, vote according to your conscience. We were talking about how this morning we were on our walk with Rosie, and we were referencing the Torah, because we have a copy of the Torah that we keep on hand. We have a copy of the multiple copies of the Bible that we keep on hand, because we're philosophers. We also have the Ramayana. We're currently reading the Mahabharata right now to kind of figure out what kind of historical things that we're seeing philosophically go on. If you have a Buddhist teacher or philosopher that you like to follow, please do so, because this is the time to really lean on our guides, lean on our gurus and our spiritual preceptors to stay calm and to support ourselves in our communities. So that's the best thing that's the best advice I can give you going forward, that we can. And we're sending you lots of love. Yes, and vote often, says Tom. Good to see you, hon. So yeah, it is a flower of life moment. And that was the March on Washington. That was Jonathan. And speaking of flowers, he also flew over there was his guru is Swami Vishnu Devananda, and he had a plane made by Peter Max. And they took this plane and they flew it over the Berlin Wall, and they passed out pamphlets and flowers to get rid of the energy, the protesting kind of yucky energy. And it eventually, led to peace. But Jonathan's a hippie. So he's always been very pro-peace and anti-war, so much so that he's got a lot of stories, and they'll probably come up in the Boomer Mill. But he's a fascinating individual. I'm very, very honored to be married to him. So yeah, we're definitely in a flower life moment. And I hear you, Tom. I hear you. So, and then, and thank you, Rooted Willow. Yeah, I closed the caption with mantras so that you guys can that helps me calm down. So I hope it helps you guys too. And they are very powerful in this time that we're living in. And just to let you guys know, I did look at Joe Biden's chart, and he's being supported by Ma Kali, and I pray to her every night. So he's got a really good team behind him spiritually. So if you don't know who Ma Kali is, look her up. She's incredible. She's my favorite girl. So all right. So all right. All right, American Mud, I'll get your question in. And Lily Rose says, definitely have you voted? And so many discussed it, they don't even want to. Yeah, please vote, guys. Yeah, if you have the right to do it, take advantage of that. Okay. So, and we understand communication issues, Lily Rose, they happen. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get to our first question. We have 14 stars, just to let you know, and in order, we have Dora Romero, Scott, good to see you. We have Aaron Whitefoot, we have Twisted Susie, aka Amanda, we have Rooted Willow, and we have Hypnicity. Okay, so, oh, and you have a great day too, sweetie. It's so good to see you. All right. Yeah, learn your rights, people. You won't know them until they're taken away. And look at the way that people in countries that have autocrats are living. Watch their YouTube channels, follow them. Look at what their bathrooms look like. Look at what their families are doing. Really research it. Okay. There are also a few American families that lived in Russia that have YouTube channels you might want to look into. I highly recommend you do. It'll really, really open your eyes to what this guy's going to promise you. Okay. If you think it's best, you got it. All right. Thank you, Heather. Love you. All right. So let's get to our first question. Thank you for putting up with us because we're both doing this today. It's Dora Romero. Can I get a message, please? Yes, you may. All right, Miss Dora. So the first card I got for you, Dora, was I got Scorpio. This is 8th house energy. This is Pluto. This is Ketu in Vedic astrology. It's death energy. Okay. That doesn't mean a physical death. It just means that there are some major changes coming your way and or you're undergoing them right now. You have a very cute dog. Okay. I grew up with little terriers and Yorkies. So, all right. But Scorpio is all about inner transformation, spiritual development. It creates unsettled events and transformations in your life that kind of force you out of your shell and get you thinking about other things. Okay. I asked what was going on and I got the 9 of Wands. This is my wounded warrior card. Okay. So what this tells me is that you are going to need to be a little more disciplined with your health and use your willpower, your character, and your body to kind of get through this upcoming thing that they're showing me because you're about to get tested. Okay. Things will go well if you eat right, if you exercise, and if you strive to be healthy right now. And they're saying avoid anything that impairs your judgment or your physical abilities because you need to have all of the engines firing right now. Okay, Dora? Don't do anything in excess. Avoid intoxication, including like being intoxicated by negative people or environments. Okay. Stay away from dangerous areas. If you don't know any self-defense or techniques, please do so, because when I get the Scorpio type of energy along with this card, it tells me that you're stepping into a period where they're asking you to confidently defend yourself. Okay. So stay faithful to your words, stay faithful to your core beliefs, and just put your best foot forward. Really sit in that meditation and listen to your higher self, because they're telling you to put your armor on. Okay, sweetie? The reason I also say that is I did get the 5 of Shells reversed. This is another interesting card. It's also a big no card. Okay, so there are a lot of past disappointments that are preventing you from also moving into this present. Okay, there's a period of disappointment that they're showing me, some indifference or some rejection that's causing some confusion on how to react and move forward. That's why your guides are stepping in with this Scorpio kind of upheaval energy to get you out of your own way. We've all been here before, especially as empaths and people that are out there doing light work. We feel a need to help others, but when there's like the eclipse energy that we had in April, if anyone looked at it, it caused a darkness to enter. So you're going to be dealing with that darkness. Okay. Problems. If there are problems that are coming up that are so severe, they can't be dealt with, you need to basically change route. Okay. Different relationships, different people. Stay with someone. Okay. Don't be in and around people that are giving into violence, manipulation, things like that. These forms of abuse and manipulation have devastating effects on family, especially if there's children involved, and professional help could be necessary in those cases. But what I'm getting is that they're going to go through what's called a thinning in your life. Okay. You're going to be letting go of certain people and processes and thoughts and things that no longer serve you, so that you can open the door for better things to occur. Now, when you do let them go, you notice that the person in the card, there's a person in the river behind them and they're asking for help. Okay. Their back is turned to them. This is the person who's been asking for help again and again and again, and they kept jumping into the river. The reason that person is huddled around themselves is they've had to keep going in and saving them over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Let them go. Let them do their own homework. Let them go down the river. They'll find a shore. They'll find a branch. They'll find a rock, or they'll find God. But you don't do their homework for them. That's the main thing one of your guides just said. Okay? This is what they want you to do. They want you to step into some healing energy. Okay, Dora? Drawing this card is guiding you to work with energy on a healing level because you're going to go through a lot of transformation. I'm going to see if you've said anything. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing anything yet. All right, so you're going through this energy on a very healing level. You are going to have to, when you step into this, they're saying don't feel like you have to know everything. Okay, Dora, when you are living in the vibration of healing, you not only affect yourself, but you're going to affect your environment. When I stepped into this many years ago, a lot of people left my life. So you're going to have to prepare for that too, because when your energy vibes high and you're in and around them, they'll get uncomfortable and they'll move away from you. Okay. So, others that feel that energy and like it, they'll connect with you and they'll help you and they'll be part of the process and the goals that you feel are best for your highest good moving forward. So healing is taking place in your life. That's how this energy works. And this vibrational charge, this upgrade that they're showing me is going to, there's no other force like this. It's going to be a rise in your soul. They're basically saying to accept it and the loss that it brings, okay? Because it's good loss. I'm someone who went through this before. So if you ever want to schedule a session, I not only have the astrological components that I can help you with, but I also have the life experience. So I hope that was helpful, Dora, and I'm really excited to see what Jonathan has for you.
Okay, Dora. What I'm sensing, and I'm getting this from your question, which isn't actually a question. It says, "Can I get a message, please?" And what that says to me is, I don't know whether to go left, right, up, down, or turn around and go back in the other direction. It seems like everything is the wrong way. Well, everything, maybe there's a time to be still and there's a time to move. Very, very few times when the world is like it is now is the time to be still. Because my feeling is right now, if we are still and we stop and we get stuck, uh, there's a term from one of the, I think it's Watership Down books, Strel. Uh, the rabbit can't move. It doesn't know whether to go left, right, up, jump straight up, or what, and it just freezes. And that's a survival technique because sometimes the predator won't see the animal because it's moving. It's not the best survival technique. And you need to ask yourself, what are you most afraid of? What is the worst outcome that could possibly happen? Start. You're not catastrophizing. You're trying to find the catastrophe that you're trying to avoid by not doing anything. So ask yourself, what is the worst possible thing that could happen? And then what is the next worst possible thing that could happen? And then until you get to the point where it's like, I'm low on milk, you know. So you're trying to interview yourself to determine what's made you go Strel, what has you frozen, And I'm not saying that you can't just be standing in a state of panic. We've all done it. I've done it. But I know that it's unlikely that if you're standing just in the open, motionless, the predator will see that. And the predator in our culture right now, they're legion. It's the government, it's the not government, it's companies, it's people walking down the street that won't even bother to step aside. They'll just slam into you and push you off the sidewalk. This is something that we actually experience, people that just get out of my way. So don't let the so-and-sos get you down. You have as much right to be here as they do. And you have to accept that. And you have to give yourself the right to be here and then build from that. But I know I've done it myself. If you just stand there, frozen, it's unlikely that someone nowadays is going to come up and say, "Hey, what's up? Can I help you? Let me solve this for you." So look around, make notes, write stuff down. What's your biggest fear? What's your next biggest fear? What's the fear after that? What's your biggest hope? What's your next biggest hope? You have to pull this stuff out of you. You know, pretend that you're a good friend and see if you can help this good friend by taking action for that. And like they say, when you're stuck under fire, move in any direction, correct as you go forward. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, Jonathan. And yes, I get to live with this guy. This is fantastic. Thank you, honey. It was a great message. He doesn't need cards. So thank you, sweetie. I really appreciate that. And we hope that was helpful, Dora. We're sending you lots of love as you go through that transformation. And you're not alone. We're all feeling it. Okay. Especially if you have any sense of what's going on in the collective and you're a light worker, you're feeling it. Okay. So reach out, get help. Know that as your vibration rises, that you're going to attract more people that are also vibing at your level, but it's going to be hard. All right. And again, I'm always available for readings as well as I have a number of people in the network that are available as well that I can recommend to you that are fantastic. All right. She goes, I just started writing it. All right. Very cool. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. And then, Hypnicity, Nalani says, shine your light. You are a way shower. Beautiful, Nalani. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get to our next question. And it is the lovely Scott. Yay, I'm so excited to read for you, honey. Let me find your question. Just a general. All right, you got it. And then you have, there we go. That's cute. Okay, so Scott, the number one thing that I saw in your environment right now is that you're having a little bit of a Neptunian moment. Okay, this is a rose-colored glasses moment. This is not really seeing the reality of your situation. Now, Neptune has been in Pisces for a long time, and I know that you're a light worker and you like to tap into source all the time. So you're not alone here, but the eclipse energy also contributed toward this because it was in Ravati, which also rules Pisces. So it's affecting a lot of us. We might not be seeing the reality of our situation or what we're doing right now. So they're just asking you to take, like, just, how do I say this? Take off the love goggles and start seeing a little bit more reality when it comes to people. The reason I say that is you're going to come up against a situation where you're going to be asked to make a decision. Okay, this is the Justice card, and you can see Justice is looking at the King and the Pauper with complete indifference, and he's holding up the sword of truth in order to make the best decision moving forward. So this tells me that you are a person of good judgment and that good things will come back to you because you do good things for other people. This also involves legal matters. Negotiations will be settled fairly. Okay. Anything realistic is an attainable goal right now. So really focus on the realistic, very earthbound things. Notice that there's a curtain behind him. There's not a curtain behind the high priestess. So you're being asked to judge from a more practical and a less intuitive stance. And I'll explain what that means later because I know that you have a beautiful intuitive heart, but there are going to be some situations that come before you that are they're more legal in nature. And that does also attach to spirit and karma. Okay. So you're here to make the world more beautiful and just, and your guides are helping you step in so that you don't see things or idealize things too much, because I know that you like to see the best in people. Okay. You like to see the best that they have to give because you like to see their higher self. But there's a little jiva in there that they're working through, and especially in Kali Yuga, that they have to kind of fish out. All right. So this symbolizes peace and all the good, sweet things in life and peace improving environment. So when you do step into this very realistic way of judgment, you will be rewarded and you will be promoting peace. Okay. So I asked what the situation looked like. Okay, Scott. And I got the Tower reversed. Okay. So you know what the Tower is. It's kind of like this one resembles a rocket kind of taking off in an uncontrollable fashion. And it symbolizes that you're going to have to cope with a sudden release of energy that's about to happen. Okay, this is the injustice piece that I just saw come to you. Okay. It can, okay, there's a lack of progress, hope, or maybe just plain, okay, what are you guys saying? Okay. Pent-up energies, repressed desires, unspoken feelings, they're going to explode at the worst possible time, at the worst possible way between this scenario that's going to be brought forward. Okay. The person is going to be a little desperate about something. They're going to be very upset. It's a bit of a crisis moment, but you're going to be able to handle it because I got the Justice card up right. Okay, so this crisis, it's going to suddenly escalate dramatically, seemingly out of nowhere. And the problems you're going to find yourself experiencing regarding this question is going to lead to some lingering psychological problems with one of them. And this is because there's a result of a past upset proved by an unreliable person in their life and a relationship that they were in. So it has nothing to do with you. Okay, they just showed me it's completely separate. So you're very lucky when the tower comes up reversed. You know this. It tells me that you are encountering some instability and maybe some revolutionary ideas are coming our way, which we're experiencing. But you have an understanding of how to break down the established structures in order to provide a more justifiable way of looking into this situation that's coming. Okay, they're liberating you. Okay, Scott, that's the main thing that they're telling me. They're liberating you from the drama. I said, so what can Scott do when this energy comes? Okay, let's see. Oh wow, yeah. All right. So when this energy comes, I got Sugulite. My angel cards came up and my gemstones, and they said Sugulite. Tom knows a little bit about this one. I think he mentioned it in Gerald's chat the other day. He is a gemstone king. This guy knows a lot about gemstones. So Sugulite is excellent. It's really good for working with dark energy. It says own your divine power, Scott. Replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. That's the justice reversed. If the king and the pauper come to you, and the king has been unfairly subjugating the pauper and hurting them and their family, you're going to have to say to the king, that's not right. You need to do the right thing. If the pauper stole from the king and has been mistreating other members of the kingdom, you're going to have to address the pauper. You're going to have to pick a side. And that's something that they're telling me you struggle with because you are a very bright, wants everybody to get along kind of guy. They're going to make you go up a vibe. What happens when that happens is you're going to actually lose a few people when this happens. Gosh, this eclipse energy is intense. Okay. But this is another thing that you can do because I got another card for you to move forward with this energy, with this decision that's going to come before you. You need to honor your energy. Okay. Your body has rhythms, just like the rhythms that we see in nature. The seasons, the flowers, they come in the spring, they bloom in the summer, and they leave us in the fall and go dormant in the winter. Okay, so the tides ebb and flow. The animals go into hibernation and then they come out in the spring again. So you need to listen to the inherent cycles within you when you sit in meditation. Okay, Scott. Rest when you need to, work when you need to, and don't try to outthink the situation. Just go with the natural rhythms. Really come from a very calm, beautiful place inside of you, which I know you have. And go easy on yourself and reserve judgment because they're saying that you can be a harsh critic towards yourself sometimes. Okay. So the number one thing they're saying is don't feel guilty. That's low vibe. Do not feel guilty for doing the right thing because there is someone that's going to be upset in this, but they're the person that was doing the wrong thing. You are actually doing them a favor. Okay, honey? So I hope that was helpful. I know it was really deep, but that's what the guides did. So thank you, sweetie. So yeah, that's that. If that resonated with you, that's great. I am excited to see what Jonathan has for you, and I am sending you so much love, honey. We can't wait to see you on later.
Yeah, Scott, you probably know that we're habitual viewers on your channel. You remind me of my oldest brother, although you're much younger than he would be, but you do remind me of him. He was a ham radio operator. And I don't know if that really makes amateur radio, guys that had call signs and they had a huge network all over the world. And these were like crazy electronics geniuses back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s who were talking to people on the other side of the world by bouncing a radio signal from their private radio off the Earth's atmosphere and over the curvature of the Earth. So, simple stuff, no big deal. You do remind me of my oldest brother, and in a number of ways, in your intellect, in your dedication to helping your community, and also in the fact that you need to start to come to terms with the concept of self-care. I know you're burning yourself out because I see you on, doing 3, 4, 5 hour shows and sometimes 2 a day, 3 a day. I have a history of being a compulsive volunteer, and that's kind of what I see. I mean, you're not doing this because you have to. You're doing it because you love it, you want to, and you can see that you're helping people. But you got to help yourself. You can't just cook all the food in your house and give it to people. You have to occasionally stop and have a meal. And again, I'm prone to this. I volunteered my way onto the city council in the area where we live, of a city of like 300,000 people. I was just going to meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, and they had a shake up and they said, "Hey, you want to step in for about a year and just be on the city council?" And I thought, what qualifications do I have to be on the city council? And they said, "You've been to more meetings than most of the members of the city council, and you've read all the literature." So, okay, I recognize that. In other words, I recognize your intent to do good and to take action and to actively help people. I also recognize that, just like I did, I kind of burnt myself out because I was trying to help so much in the time period that I had. I thought, I'll just do this and then I'll rest. Then I'll rest hardly ever came. So I did, in fact, burn out and took some time off. And then I went back in a more limited role and worked for several more years. But I see that selfless service energy in you by the ton. And I also see you sort of moving laterally into another community where your selfless service can also be of great need, because the community itself has always been in great need and needs strong supporters and people with a voice. So I'll give you a tip. And the tip is, it's like they say to, I guess you call them caregivers or rescuers: save yourself first. You got to put the life vest on yourself first, then you swim out and put one on somebody else. Because if you sink, they're all gone. So rest when you don't think you need to, eat when you don't necessarily want. You don't have to stuff it down, but just have something intensely nourishing. I would say energy bars, but that's a bad idea because I've lived on energy bars. Like, that's all I've eaten for weeks at a time, and an apple maybe for some fiber. But it's better than not eating and getting that weird sick headache that you get sometimes. So I I sense you getting more active in both communities, and maybe adding some other thing in there, because you've got a skill for this. You have a skill to talk to people, you have a skill in understanding people, and you have a skill for liking people. Unlike most people in political situations, they don't like people, they like their position. You can like both, and I think you do. I sense that you do. But I would just say, just be aware of what you're doing. Admit to yourself, yeah, I'm really tired. I have to go now. Trust me, the people will be back there when you go back in 5 or 6 hours or the next day. Yeah, I hear you. Trying to take care of yourself and doing everything you need to do is like riding a bicycle and juggling and turning a corner. I get you. We're all there. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know or sense. I'm just reinforcing from a compulsive volunteer for decades. Take some self-care time. Especially when you get that weird sick feeling, and maybe sort of like, for me, it's like I feel like I'm chewing a lead pencil in my mouth. It's just, that's it. I'm at the end. I've got to rest now, or I'm just going to make a mistake or something. So uh, Scott, we both love you. We love your show. We love your heart. I love your cats. I got to tell you, I really do. I think they should have their own show. Just throw toys in the middle of the room and we could watch them for hours. And we'll send you the toys. No worries. And ironically, that would probably become one of the largest, viewed shows on the internet. That's how it goes. We work and strive and try to get everything done and help, and the cats just play, and they have 40 million viewers. So I'll stop there. Thanks for what you do, Scott. We really appreciate you.
And Jackie is known for sending squirrels and all kinds of stuff for for Milo and Sunny. So yes, they're very entertaining, and they're part of our healing too. So we love them too. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So Teresa says, I vote the cats too. Awesome. And then you're so welcome, Scott. Thank you for joining us, sweetie. It's wonderful to see you. And welcome, Cheryl. And Amanda, This American Mutt, I went ahead and took note of your birthday. So thank you so much. And I got your message earlier, so I put you in the questions today. Okay. All right. So let us get to our next question. Thank you all for being here. It's lovely to see all of you. And it is the lovely Erin Whitefoot. Woohoo! Now I'm going to see if you sent a question. I'm just seeing a super sticker. If you have a specific question, go ahead and put it in, Erin. Otherwise, I'll just do a general for you from your guides, because that's what you usually ask for. A general reading from your guides. Okay, great. Awesome. All right. Hi, Joby. Good to see you. All right. And just let everybody know we're simulcasting. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're on 9 channels right now. So because I'm also doing this on the Boomer Mill. So, and we're across multiple networks. So if we're not as chatty, that's why. But we have a lot of people coming in. So thank you so much for being patient as we do your questions. Okay. So, let's see, a lot of negative energy. Okay, blessed one, you're in. All right. So the first card I got for you, Erin, was I got the 9th house. They're asking you to expand the way that you're looking in and around your environment to more of a philosophy that was outside of what you grew up with or are affiliated with. The 9th house is all about, like, here's an example of 9th house in Jonathan's chart. He has a Guru Chandala Yoga. He was born in a Methodist little Arkansas town, and he grew up to follow a guru from India and learn Vedic philosophy. So this is a sign for you to kind of step out of the current belief systems and patterns that you're in. Obviously hold true to them, but step into something new and exciting. That can expand your awareness, because that's what the guides are asking to kind of you to step into. The reason they're doing that, you're welcome, American Mutt. The reason they're doing that is because your judgment is off about something. I got the judgment card reversed. This is prepare for a time of reckoning where accounts are settled and past karma is balanced. So there's an inner critic involved, or someone coming from the outside that's judging you, and they're showing me that this is from the outside. Okay. So there's not enough resources to get you through this dark time, is what they're showing me. Okay. There's some deceit, there's some laziness, and there's some surprising revelations that are occurring in this area. And they're not, these are from people that aren't willing to match your efforts for self-improvement in life, and they don't really have your best interest or understanding at hand. Okay. You may feel like getting revenge after this happens, but it's only going to delay your recovery. Okay. So this is warning you to face the facts, really confront the past and its demons and our shadows and ourselves. We're all dealing with this right now. And if you're hanging on to anything frustrating or unhappy, know it will be forgiven. And do forgive, starting with yourself, because there was something judgment-wise that just, okay. I asked what it looked like, and I got a lot of cards, and I was like, oh gosh, guys. Okay, so I'll do them one at a time. The first one I got is there's an argument of some kind in and around your environment. No, this is not your frequency. Okay, this is outside of you. See how you're literally, oh, sorry, this is 7 of Wands. So you see how you're having to defend yourself here? You're literally defending yourself against other people. Okay, so what this tells me is this is coming from the outside at you. All right. It's from keeping what we call bad satsang. Satsang is good company. So you're going to have to maybe start hanging out with people that fit your vibe a little bit more. All right. And aren't coming at you like this. And they're asking you to develop this type of energy. I got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay. This is an incredible couple. I pulled the Queen first. So if you've suffered a lot, dry wit can help with the uneasiness a little bit. I know that you do have a great sense of humor. You're very adventurous. You're fearless. Your videos are incredible. But they're asking you to kind of step out of that more wands energy, fiery energy that you have, which is very active and can do a lot of beautiful things, and get into your head a little bit more. Okay, because swords are all about our mental state. So work on how you work on the ways that you are conversing with other people. Pay attention to those underlying motives. Really look at it from a place of, they're saying discernment, because that's what the swords are all about. They're having you literally use your intellect, your discernment. Well, the cups are more discernment. They're saying more intellect for you. Okay, because your discernment's actually, well, a little bit of that. They're saying that the intellect can support the discernment. Okay, thanks, guys. So they're also saying that you've had a few of life's wounds that have taught you emotional intelligence and crafted you into a good counselor and mentor. That's why I got the Queen of Swords for you. Then I got the King of Swords. And what that tells me is that relationships are a bit of second nature to you, but what you need to do is, okay, go about your business coolly and assertively. Take your emotions out of it, take your passion out of it. I know that's very difficult for you, but they're saying if you come at it from a very mental space, you'll be a lot more successful. Uh, they're wanting you to look into some sharp philosophical insights. That's that ninth house energy that I pulled before. And you're going to develop almost like a chemical experiment inside of you that's going to help you be successful. It's going to give you a quicker mind, a more mature air and authority, and it's going to be attractive to other people. So you're going to be a great teacher after going through this transformation, is what they're showing me, but it's going to be mentally very difficult. Okay. So I did ask the overall, the overall energy of this, and I did get the discernment card. So the spiritual, physical, and energy, we're all spiritual, we are physical, and we're energetic beings. There are many different layers to our bodies. We're not just a physical body walking around, and I know you know that better than most people. So, but they're saying that you might be blurring the lines between those energies a little bit, and you're taking on another person's energy and you're labeling it as your own. Okay. So when you do that, you start to judge. So this can also lower your energetic vibration and attract those people to where you're having to defend yourself a little bit more. So I'm going to see if you've said anything. I've actually started that. I've been eliminating the anger and being upset, and I step back. Okay, that's that Wands energy that I picked up. That was like you having to fight for yourself. If you take a more mental perspective with these people and a less passionate one, they'll literally just go away because you're basically setting that boundary with them. So they're helping you set more mental boundaries and less physical ones. Okay, so the lesson here is that they're asking you to just be present, don't label or judge. And just let the energy of these feelings wash over you and then let them go. Okay. They show me like if you're at a river and you're cleaning the fish, you don't focus on the parts that are going down the river. You're focused on keeping a hold of the fish. Okay. So let the water wash through you and let it go. Okay. Because they're cleaning you out a little bit. Okay. You're going to feel this internally as you meditate. It's going to come up as emotion. You can feel some heart opening come up. Oh, okay. So they're saying when you do sit in meditation, you're going to feel the areas that they're working on. Does your heart open up? Does your belly hurt? Does your throat get tight? Is your head lying to you? Know that your body never does. Okay. So it's going to be kind of an overwhelming experience when you are leveling up to this new area of discernment. So make it a habit as you go through this to take it from this is very overwhelming energy. Just give me a second. Just say, wow, that's interesting. Whew, instead of what's wrong with me? Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. This will allow you to more objectively discover how and why your body is reacting and given the situation or person that's in and around your environment. Okay, that's why I got the swords energy, because they're asking you to put down your emotions, your passions, and feel this on a very mental, detached, discerning level. So it's asking you to stop looking outside of yourself for answers to the issues at hand and sit with and listen to what your body is telling you. If you don't listen to what your body is telling you, you could risk of severe injury because there's some energy in and around you too regarding this. Okay, so yeah, it is a little heavy. So my friend said, with my YouTube and hunting page, I become a human dartboard. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, definitely be aware of that if that's what your friend is telling you. Now, use your discernment when navigating what they're saying as well. But the main thing that I got from the cards is that there are things that you need to do to kind of steel yourself emotionally and passionately for the next term, and really, really pay attention to what your body is telling you. Your guides say that they literally use your body and put you in dangerous situations to move you in another direction, and they want to start moving you mentally in other directions. They don't want to have to like cause dangerous situations to get your attention. Okay, Aaron? Because I know that you've got to have one of the strongest Marses. It's amazing. So I think it was jealous and envy. Okay, that's good. You don't want that energy in and around you. Okay, and then is that what he was meaning? Okay, all right. So I hope that was helpful, and I am excited to see what Jonathan has for you, and I'm wishing you all the best, Aaron. Thank you so much for joining.
Well, first, Aaron, I want to tell you we're fans. We really are. Plunking on the Columbia, watching you run, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile over broken rock between over and under other rods so that you keep the line straight and you finally get the salmon. I'm guessing it's a salmon, and you get that poor. You basically outran the fish, is what it amounts to. You tired out the fish. Usually people just reel it in, pull it back, reel it in, pull it back. No, you're running a marathon down the river, and then you hear a bell, and you got to run back the other way and do the same thing over and over again. That's dedication. That is some dedication, and it's not sport fishing. I'm aware of that. This is survival fishing. Something that I don't mention a lot was that my first wife, who's now deceased, worked with the West Coast tribes, primarily in Washington and Oregon, for, let's just call it 30 years. She was an independent administrative resource that would help them get their grants in line with the federal, state, and local governments, because I don't have to tell you, the native peoples are still being oppressed by the governments, local, state, and national government in this country. That story may come out someday. It may not, but in the meantime, I am in awe of the actions that you're taking. I also know what it means to be a volunteer for your city, county and state and national, because I've been active at pretty much all of those levels, nationally, just by saying hell no to stuff. But locally, I've been on boards and committees and commissions and spent, without trying to, scare or impress anybody, thousands of hours of volunteer time in meetings, mostly trying to get people to not do what they shouldn't do or to do what they should do, and try to, because you've always got some people on one side, some people on the other side. How do we meet in the middle and still get anything done? Because you don't want a deadlock. So if you're going to be a voice for your folks and come out, go public, have a YouTube channel, other than just, the incredible amount of energy that you spend in, helping to feed people, you probably should get involved in your tribal, let's call it politics. Have to take a leadership role, because if you have that much energy, some of it should go into the tribe. Now, I say this cold. I don't know what the situation is there. This might be the last thing that you want to hear, but I can tell you that, again, my experience from the other side of things, hearing my ex-wife talk about this for so long, the second, it's like that pole, that fish you're pulling in. The second you let go of the tension, it's out of your hands and gone, and you're not going to see it again. That money is somewhere else. So you have to get in there, you have to grab a hold of it, and you have to refuse to let it go until you wheel it in and you make it quiet. I could see you doing that. 18,500. Yeah, there you go. I can see you doing that. I can see the energy that you put into this. And it's not just you storing up things in your freezer. This is, you're doing this for your people. And at some point, surprisingly, I found this out. At some point, I was no longer able to jump 6 feet from rock to rock across a river, simply rather than go down to the bridge. Things do happen. And I had a very, very smart carpenter friend when I was a union carpenter a long time ago. He said, as your body gets weaker, your head better get stronger. And that was some of the best advice I ever got, because surprise, your body will get weaker and your head can get stronger. You already have a strong head, or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing now. It's not just physical running down there. You've got these poles set up, when the fish are coming, how deep to put the line, which one's going. that energy can be taken and moved into another position. So as your body gets weaker, yeah, it's already strong. You need to start transitioning more and more into how to find a different way to support your people because they need it. My ex-wife is no longer there. I hope somebody else stepped in to take care of the 6 or 8 tribes that she was helping to get their annual allotment from the government. But you would be great. You would be great. So that's what I have. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Aaron. We hope that was helpful, and we really appreciate your energy. And everyone, let's give him some more subscribers. He's right here, Aaron Whitefoot. So definitely, thank you so much. And Fun Boy, I went ahead and put your question in the queue. Thank you so much. And I'll go ahead and put here. Okay. So just to let everybody know, we have Twisted Sushi. Amanda is next, and then we have Rooted Willow, and then we have Hypnicity, and then we have Christine Dulé, and then we have Fun Boy. Okay, and then we'll get to lightning round. All right, we appreciate you too. Thank you so much for being here, guys. All right. All right, you are here. Yay, Amanda's here. Good to see you, honey. Let me find your question. Okay, I would love a general reading as well. You got it. All right, so, okay, Miss Amanda, you have got a lot of energy in and around you that is asking you to step into your own personal power because I pulled Leo. Leo's also the 5th house. Okay, 5th house rules children. I know that you have your new little baby, Aurora Rose. Love the photos of her that you're posting. She's such a little doll. So Leo is all about stepping into your personal power, though, okay? Because what I'm getting is that there is an authoritative energy around you. It's more masculine in form, and it might be it's emotionally not the best, okay? Because I've got the King of Cups reversed. So this is someone who kind of lords their emotions over others, okay? They have a lot of repressed emotions. There can be some paranoia, insomnia, panic attacks that are cropping up with this particular person. It's okay to not get involved in other people's problems. Just don't upset them. Okay. Try not to get too involved as they're going through this emotional upheaval because they're a little high strung. They're unable to forgive right now or accept love or give advice right now. So this is a very sensitive psychic person, but they use it to control people. Okay. So it's because they're stuck in the past and they're coming from a place of fear. So that's the overall energy I got from something in your environment. Okay. What your guides are asking you to do is deal with this energy very quickly because I got the 8 of Wands next. So the energy and love that you've been putting out there will come back to you in a very positive way, but they're asking you to set boundaries with this person and move forward. So communicate what you need and it will be received and provided for very quickly. Make plans now, not later, and follow your bliss. Live life according to the way that you feel it needs to move forward because they're saying they want to get you quickly out of this energy. Okay, that's the main thing that I got. When you do that, you're going to be able to have a little bit more fun, but you're going to have to be careful, okay? Because even though the Fool is upright, it's important to pay attention to where you're going when I pull this card, okay? So, obviously pay attention to where you're going, but the Fool upright tells me that when you put your past behind, you can be the self you were as you were a pure and innocent child, okay? But you have to get this really negative energy in and out of your environment. That's what they're showing me. That way you'll be able to experience the present to the fullest, which is really important with your motherhood journey right now. So appreciate everyone and everything for the miracle that life is. And I know you have your own little miracle, your little baby doe at home. She's an Anurata. That's why I call her a little baby deer because that's her animal. So you could risk being a little bit foolish or naive or overly optimistic once this kind of more negative energy is taken care of. But make sure to look at where you're going. That's what I say whenever I pull the Fool card. It's good to kind of bring back that childish joy, but pay attention to your environment. But yeah, you're going to be able to have a lot more fun once you get that out. One thing the reason why I said you needed to watch where you were going and things like that is because I did pull a lot of cards. I then got the 6 of Wands reversed. Okay, this is the opposite of the Victory card, but what this tells me is that there's going to be a slight setback that occurs if you've been thinking only about if you're not watching where you're going. That's why when I looked at the Fool, they said, yes, this is good, but, okay, sometimes they do that. They'll give me a card and they'll say, go out, have fun, experience your inner child, smell the roses. Oh my gosh, this is so great. And they just said, you have to warn her. So they said that because you are actually a very open emotional soul, and people can use flattery or manipulation to win your favor. So they're saying just beware of phonies as you go out there. So watch where you're going, look who you're speaking to, make sure that you're not overly dependent on others. So much so that you can't believe you can stand on your own 2 feet, because sometimes the Fool can do that with us. The Fool really is someone who can go out and do things on their own, even though he's seen as the Fool, but they're saying that you do need to pay attention to where you're going in this case. Okay, so don't become overly dependent if you're stepping into this role, and what that'll do is keep you from stepping into self-sabotaging behaviors. Okay, so I did go to my shamanic healing deck to finish this off for you, and I got that there are unlimited possibilities coming your way. You know, as fall turns into winter, the leaves fall from the trees and the birds fly south. So the plants, they might be, they go dormant. Some even die because they've lived out the life that they were meant to. So don't. What they're saying is don't fall. If they're seeing a lot of changes occur, don't despair, because it's just a season. It's just a season, and that there are unlimitless. Can you guys help me with this? Unlimited possibilities ahead for you. Limitless possibilities for you. Okay, I was trying to combine 2 words. Thank you. So at any given time, that's what's coming your way. So don't get bogged down in thinking in a very linear fashion. Really open your eyes and your heart and feel the power of your free will. That's that beautiful Fool energy. When the choices come before you, and make your life what it was meant to be. But then again, like I said, the only warning I really found for you was that reverse victory card. And I asked what that was. And they said that, you can be a little too trusting. Okay. So don't use flattery or people that appear to be very nice to you as truth tellers, because they're not always that way. Okay. Let's see if you said anything. I've started doing my own lives, but it's hit or miss. It's still a passion of mine, and I'm glad I've taken that step. That's great. That's wonderful. So come at it like the Fool, okay? Don't put too much into it, and be very careful who you invite on your show and who you invite into your family life, because not everybody who claims to be a part of this community has your best interests in mind, okay? So just practice that beautiful discernment, and know that the possibilities are limitless for you. So I'm excited for you. You're welcome, sweetie. I'm excited to see what Jonathan has for you.
Well, I'll just comment on the last part there. You're starting your own channel, doing your own lives, yeah. Hit or miss. Oh, Conan O'Brien has hit or miss, broadcasts. So, you're just joining the broad group. Um, I I sense that you probably are doing better than you think you are, because everybody that's new is thinking everything I do is a mistake. Trust me, I've gone through this. Pretty much everything that I tried to do initially, because I wasn't really good at it, I just figured, oh no, I'll never be any good at this. And then somebody a long time ago said everybody was a clumsy beginner at one point, except for a few enlightened beings that occasionally every 1,000 years pop in and say, hey, calm down. But the rest of us have to understand that you do things step by step. First, you learn how to set it up. Then you learn how to run it. Then you learn how to, expand on that. Is there anything I can do to make the show tighter? Is there anything I can do to make the image better? You can find 1,000 ways to work this. The thing is, you don't have to do 1,000 things at once. You do them one at a time. If you can sit down and think, okay, what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to sound? Literally sound, as in, sound like. Do I want music? Who do I want to have on? Am I just going to talk about my own experiences? Planning is really important. And I say this as a guy who doesn't tend to plan. I tend to just blast onto the scene and go, okay, let's see what's going on. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. When it works, it can work well. When it doesn't work, it's a disaster. You don't want to have a disaster, and you don't need to. You're new. You're new. People are not going to expect you to be Conan O'Brien in your first show. You're new. try to think, what am I interested in? What do I hear people talking about? What are they not talking about? What are they focusing on? Do I want to focus on that? Is there, do we really need another comedy, podcast, so to speak? If it's something that you're really, really passionate about or interested in, it doesn't matter if there's 100,000 others. Primarily, you're doing it for you so you get your voice out there. You want to say something, say it. People used to just walk out into the public square, stand on a square piece of stone or a box and start talking, you know. And if the crowd gathered around, great, a lot of people hear you. If two or three people gather around, you're still being heard, and you never know where that information is going to go. So the thing that I will tell you, which is a thing that this lady over here, we're flipped and backwards in the image here. This lady here practically had to drag me by the scruff of my neck into this format. And I find myself getting more and more comfortable with it the more that I do it, because nobody has yet broken down the door and said, stop it, for God's sake, stop it. They just don't do that. But in my head, that's what was going to happen. You make some mistakes, who knows? Might be the funniest mistake ever. You're going to end up all over YouTube and you'll be famous, but you got to do it. You have to take action. That's, I don't know if I said this to Aaron. I came into my head when I was thinking about his hunting. There's an old axiom in military culture that I had a brief, anyway, the thing is, first fire a shot and then correct, so get your show out there. Just do one or two. The one that we just started is doing remarkably well. I mean, remarkably. And I had to be dragged, grab me by the hair and pull me into the room and move my mouth practically. And thank God she did, because now I'm looking at this going, oh my God, there are thousands of people that are interested in this. I wouldn't have thought 10, so do it, correct as you go along, focus on what works, try what you want, and see what happens. It's not a death penalty, so give it a shot. Hope that helps.
And thank you for joining us, Amanda. And we send love to you and Aurora Rose and your husband. Yes, I did pick up on that energy. I just didn't want to say it out loud. So if you would like, we will include you and your family in our mantra practice as well. I'm starting to have to write everybody down because there's so many. But we do it every morning and evening, and they're very helpful. They put a very positive vibe your way. And that goes to everyone in the audience. You can email me. It's michelle@astrologicaltarot.com, and I'm happy to add you to our mantras in the morning. And that also goes for your family and friends that you're worried about too. Okay? We're always happy to help. Oh, and I'm so glad that was helpful, sweetie. And yes, Wendy, we're sending you lots of love. I'm sorry for your loss. I went ahead and put your question in the queue. Okay, sweetie? All right, Twisted. So I know you and Aurora Rose, if you would like to you can send me a quick email, or I'll just add you there with your hubby, and we'll go ahead and do that. If there's anything else specific, I'll just email me. Okay, sweetheart? All right, you're welcome, Wendy. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. All right, we're gonna come up and see what's going on there. So let's go to our next question. We have the lovely Rooted Willow. Good to see you, sweetie. Let me find your question here. All right. Thank you guys for being so nice to Jonathan. And I did not physically pull his hair to get him to do this, but he was very nervous. Oh my goodness. I love you, honey. Okay. Let me just find your comment here. Rooted Willow. All right. Any advice after 2 weeks of many changes? All right. This is the main energy that I got regarding your situation. I got Leo, so you're going to have to start putting yourself first, your needs first. This is the star of your show. Leo also rules the 5th house. This also passes an influence on children. Okay, so I already know a little bit about your situation, but this is what the guides are saying without me even just doing this blind. Okay, so basically, you are stepping up. You're getting that inner lioness to come out and stand up for herself. So we applaud you for that. Here's the major issue. I got the King of Pentacles reversed. The money's going to be a problem. Okay. This is someone in your life who does not, they come from a place of fear, and they use money to manipulate or control you in a very negative way. When I get the King of Pentacles reversed, it tells me that there are a lot of issues regarding the finances in your situation right now. Okay, we're aware of that, but the contributions that you're getting right now, you need to protect them because they can be taken by this person. Okay, this is not uncommon. It's in 99.8% of circumstances. I've been in it too. So what I'm recommending that you do is make the money in your life your absolute and total focus right now, because it's completely out of balance. That way you'll be able to step into your personal power. The first thing that happens when we're put in these situations is if the monetary or the ways that we use to support ourselves go away, we are then reliant on that person. We become almost like a slave. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do, and what your guides are asking you to do, is that you need to really focus on this area. You need to put the money first. You need to look at this as the only thing that should be on your mind right now, okay? Because this is the control that they're using, all right? When you put your money first, when you put this aspect first and you don't let other people in, you'll be able to much better stand on your own, like a proud lioness that you are, okay? Because this is not a good card to get when it comes to supporting yourself, okay? Just to give you an example, last year, Jonathan and I have a lot of ties to the YWCA, and I'm also a person there. And when we were working with them, nine out of the 9 people that we tried to help went back, and they gave the money to their people, the person that was doing it to them. So what I'm asking you to do is try to find a way where you can be as financially secure as possible and put that first. Okay. Okay, so my mother is the King of Pentacles in this situation. I haven't told her about anything funds wise, but she wants to. Okay, so basically, you need to take complete and total control of your monetary situation, because that is a huge control lever in your life right now. It is how the majority of these personalities get a hold of us. Okay. That is because if we don't have a place to go, if we don't have enough food, if we don't have enough support, they know that, and they'll do anything from the outside to do this. And Jonathan I give him permission to tell you, honey, I give you permission to tell him what you did for me. Okay. Because he was my driver. All right. He was my best friend at the time. So the number one thing that you can do for yourself, sweetheart, is you need to honor your energy. And you know this better than anybody. Okay. There's all sorts of mental tricks that we talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing, but it never works. Okay. We end up feeling guilty because there's a very low vibration that was in and around you, sweetie. So try to do everything you can to not get caught up in that vicious cycle. And the best way to do that is to take care of yourself monetarily. So your body has rhythms just like the earth. I got the same card for Scott earlier. So this is a bit of a collective energy. And someone actually said, oh, this is a good card for me too. So don't try to outthink the natural rhythms. Go with the flow. Don't come from a place of reactivity. Come from a place of natural flow. Try not to get too manic. One thing that I'm noticing from a lot of the channels that Jonathan and I watch regarding women in these that are living in their vans and things like that across the country, because of this issue has not been handled in our country correctly, is that they're coming from a very manic place. They're saying not to step into that. Don't allow your passions and your emotions to overtake you and keep you from thinking clearly and logically, especially when it comes to the best steps moving forward monetarily. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment, because they're saying that you're a very harsh critic on yourself because of all the voices and the abuse that you suffered in the past. Okay. My heart really does go out to you. So they're saying really rest when you need to, spend time in meditation, and go easy on yourself, but honor your energy. and don't allow their negative energy to affect your beautiful, pure energy within. Come from a very cool, calm place. Okay, so I did get one last affirmation card for you, and I got the Goddess of Truth. Okay, I am open to new ideas, techniques, and people, because when you go through the thinning, when you start to take those steps to take autonomy for yourself, you're going to attract other people who did the same. Use this gift when you notice you're resistant to allowing the possibility that new ways of doing things and new people might have something to contribute to your life and to attaining your goal. No one knows it all. This is not a weakness, but the greatest strength to know your limits and to get out of your own way and let other people help you. Okay, sweetie? So I know Jonathan, he's got some experience in this area too, and I'm excited to see what he has to say for you. But in the meantime, you are very much in our prayers, and we love you. And keep in touch and let us know how you're doing. Okay, sweetheart? We send you all the best.
Yeah, I do have some experience in this, having come from a family where my mother was suffering from domestic abuse, emotional, financial, not so much physical, unless starvation could be considered physical. And I think I mentioned even in the show already, she took all the courage she had, and she must have borrowed some, you know, to this is a small southern town in the late 50s, early 60s. That's when the man ruled the roost, and women were just expected to shut up and do the housework and have the babies. Literally, this is not just haha joke. That was it. That was the mandate for a woman. You have the children, you take care of the children and your husband, and you have a tidy home environment, and you cook the meals, and et cetera, et cetera. And that is a formula for an abusive relationship. Unless both partners are part of that, one partner comes in and says, "What'd you do? Slap, slap. Where's my meal? This place is dirty." No, no, no. Unfortunately, that's what happens. So you have to ask yourself, is this going to change? If you think it's going to change, why? Because you want it to change? That's not going to work. That never works. It's going to change either because you change or the other person changes. Almost never. I can tell you, I don't find anybody more devious, disgusting, or reprehensible in a domestic abuse situation than the guy. Because very few guys are getting slapped around by their wives. There are some. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying in every domestic abuse situation that I've ever been aware of, and for some reason I've been aware of a lot of them, wherever I've gone, and I've lived in a lot of places in the United States. This is our society. It's not you, it's not me, it's us. We put women in a position of weakness. I remember helping Michelle open her bank account. She did not have a personal bank account until she broke out of this. So I don't know that much about your situation, but I've tried to help in several situations, let's just say several, including my own, my mother. And I can tell you that you need to make a battle plan. Step one, step two, step one, secure some finances. Step two, don't tell anybody. Step three, if there are children involved, should they have any part in this, or did you just tell them, get in the car, we're going? But in our society, you can't live anywhere without money. The shelters are full, overflowing. That system just basically doesn't exist unless you're already in it. So if you start now planning, put whatever you can in a cookie jar and stick it in one of your shoes in the closet or something. Try to develop a little get out of hell fund. Start making plans. If your situation becomes dire, if you have a friend that you can just for an afternoon or an evening or a couple of days and go stay with that friend, do that. You need to sort of build this step by step. If you just walk out the door, unless you're one in a million, you're going to walk back through that door and they're going to be standing right there saying, I told you so, wham. It tears my guts out to hear that someone is going through this. I want to be one of these supernatural beings that we talk about. I want to be Shiva for a day, just a day. And I want to give these mostly men, 99.99 to the nines% men. I want to give them a day of what they're giving to the people that they're holding hostage, their victims, so to speak, the people that they have taken the power away from. I want to give it to those people for a day and see how that works. Personal fantasies aside, you need money. You have to get some money. You're not going to get anywhere without money. So, friends, donations, please don't go onto somebody's channel and have them raise money for you, because that money is very hard to get out of the PayPal account and do this with it and do that. People do this generously. They don't understand what it's like to try to take that money and give it to somebody else, because it's just going from PayPal into their bank account. The other thing that can happen is that the person you're trying to get away from can follow that money to where it went. So now they've got two people they can abuse, or three or four or 10. So I may be scaring the heck out of you, but you need to know this. If you have the resources to take your child or children and to get in your car or truck and just get the hell out.
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
Okay.
She only helped last week.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now you're going, how do I stay out?
That's the problem.
Yeah, there you are. It was hard back in the 60s when this happened to me as a kid. You're going to have to probably start looking for some type of job immediately, maybe stay with friends. Again, I don't know your situation. I'm just riffing based on my own experience and that of a lot of women that I've known that have gone through this, Michelle included. You're going to have to use an old literary phrase, depend upon the kindness of strangers for a while, unless you have enough money right now, which it doesn't sound like you do. Yeah. So, but you have to ask yourself, what's worse than where I am? And you know the answer to that. So, on our part, we'll add you to our mantras list, and that's some energy. That's energy that no one can take away. We will pray for you.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Rooted Willow, and she's much safer where she is. So that gives us a lot of hope. So, and just to let everybody know, our nightly prayers are to Ma Kali, who rules Biden's chart right now. So I'm actually very excited about the energies in the sky right now, helping a lot of people out of these situations. So you're very welcome, Rooted Willow, and we're sending you lots of love as you navigate this. You're not alone. We've been through it, and Jonathan and I are still here, and we had to do the same thing you did. Okay, so I'll just be honest with you. It took me about a year and a half to get into my first apartment. So I was basically relying on other people until then, including then Jonathan actually got me a kind of a part-time job, and then I was also taking side work as well. So it's going to be a little rough for a while, depending on the money situation, because mine stole my identity. Like I had to get a new social and banks and everything. So I don't know how bad your situation is, but it can take a while. Okay. So just be patient with yourself, be resilient, and honor your energy on the journey. And we're going to send you lots of love and prayers as you do so. And we thank you for including us. Okay, sweetheart. Sending love. Okay. And then Christine says Harbor Houses in Orlando is a shelter. Okay, thank you for that. And she's in New Jersey, and I sent you some stuff through the YWCA, some contacts there. They helped me. I couldn't afford a lawyer because he took everything. He actually, yeah. So they actually got me a lawyer and a representative in court to help me as well, because I just didn't have anything. So, and then Wendy Fox is sharing her love too for you too. So yeah. So lots of love in the chat for you, Rooted Willow. Okay, sweetie. Okay, so our next question is the lovely Hypnicity Neilani. Let me find your question, honey. Okay. All right, and just let everybody know, we have Neilani, and then we have Christine Dulé, and then we have Fun Boy, and then we have Philip Gutierrez, and then we'll get into lightning round, okay? So let me find Neilani. All right, I just see a, so there you are. I'm extremely emotional this week. Any insight from the guides would be appreciated. Okay, well, you're welcome, sweetie. And obviously, you can look back on some of the remedies that we did during our session. Those are all very helpful. What I got was I got the 8th house in Gemini. I know you got a packed sidereal house in Gemini. So you are dealing with it right now. You're going through a lot of upheaval, some transformation, some phoenix moments, because this is a phoenix and then this is the house for Gemini. So what this tells me is you are going through it and you have every right to be emotional, my dear. The way out of this type of energy is I got the opposite sign. I got Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius is all about leaning on higher philosophical knowledge and our spiritual practices to help us find the way. And I know that you do these things as well. So I did get the overall stuck energy in your chart. And for entertainment purposes only, I pulled this card for the debate last week. Okay. I got the Chariot reversed. Okay. So don't try too hard. You may be in a race you can't win, or you're focusing so single-mindedly on the project at hand that you're overlooking important facts and you're losing your way. Geminis are very, oh man, like that Punavarsu energy. We're having a new moon come your way. So that's also causing some of the anxiety that I'm feeling. You're being asked to kind of switch directions emotionally so you can see things a lot clearer in your environment. Okay, Neilani? So poor planning and preparation produced poor action and inaction. It causes us some confusion. There's some misunderstandings. There's some hurt. There's a lack of resources or insensitivity to your situation that are blocking the results that you're desiring right now. So try to step away from resentment as you're going through this, and don't let anyone else take you along for a ride, because I'm getting a negative energy in and around your environment. Okay, being timid will make others feel uneasy in this environment. Don't be overly polite or too shy. Like speak what you're seeing and what you're feeling. Pay attention to your health right now. That's really important. And if you're unclear about how to best navigate this, they're saying to compromise, or you may suffer the consequences a little bit, even if you're exhausted. Okay. So any manipulation, any competitiveness in your environment, try to step away from that. This is not about winning or losing. If you're confused by the motives of this person in your environment, which a lot of us were during the debate, you can become paralyzed, or what Jonathan referred earlier to as Strel, because he was like, oh my God, Joe Biden Strel. He's Strel because he was almost being Trump was born during an eclipse and he was eclipsing his energy. I could see it. The dark gift was literally taking him over. So again, we're not a fan of any kind of dark energy in and around your environment, Neilani. So I highly recommend that you set some boundaries there. If you're kind of confused by the signals of people in and around you, or you feel kind of paralyzed by this person in your environment, take a step back. Okay, so I asked them what you needed to do to kind of deal with this energy that I saw in your environment, this kind of overwhelming force that I'm picking up on. Okay, I got self-love. I got the self-love card. Okay, so we always try to think really highly of the people in our environment. We even give strangers the benefit of the doubt in certain situations. But when it comes to self-love, a lot of us feel woefully short of this. So to love yourself is to accept the imperfections and embrace learning and battle through the all-consuming fires of self-doubt in order to find an energetic balance inside of you. Okay, so be aware of the small insidious voice. I can see it in there. Okay, and it's repeating a lot of negative self-assessment that you had as a child, and possibly an ex as well. And those self-judgments have no place. Okay, so you need to have a whole healthy relationship with yourself, where you're being very honest with yourself. You're putting yourself first here, And it's only when you find this true love for yourself that you can sincerely offer this to others. So that's the main energy I see in and around that kind of needs to be dealt with. Once you do that, you'll be able to kind of step out of that darker emotional energy that they're showing me. Let's see if you said anything. My starter husband. Okay, that'll do it. Ugh, I'm so sorry. And you have a Gemini midheaven too. Your husband is a Sag. Okay. So I did get the Gemini and the Sagittarian energy kind of at battle with each other. So tuning into the voice that empowers you rather than the one that's breaking you down is the main energy that they're asking you to step into, and focusing on self-love and inquiry can help you do that. But that's what's causing a lot of the emotional upheavals. It's usually triggers that we have are usually from past traumas that we're trying to avoid or not relive. And they're asking you to kind of cut these emotional yuck out of your mind a little bit so that you can step forward with more grace, more positivity, and more power. All right, sweetheart. I really hope that that was helpful. And I'm excited to see what Jonathan says about your situation. And I'm sending you lots of love, Neilani. Take care, sweetheart.
Yeah, I've gone through some emotional ups and downs. Not necessarily because I was feeling emotional, just because they were really large life events, So first of all, I would ask you to ask yourself, what's going on? And chances are you're going to go, well, this and this and this, name 12 or 14 things. So it's either one or two or three things that are just significantly overwhelming you, or it's 30 things that are, by the number of them, overwhelming you. It's very hard for me to admit that I have limits. I just figure, sure, whatever, bring it on. Every time you face something, deal with something, correct something, fail at something, it takes energy out of you. You have to put the energy back in before you hit the next one. If you just boom, problem solved, yay, boom, problem killed me, boo, boom, problem kind of fell apart, and go back to it later. You have to take time to recharge or at least rest. Remembering childhood stuff long buried. Yeah, I got a deep, deep, deep hole that I've been shoveling into for a long time, you know. Um, Childhood stuff not buried or long buried. It's just covered, it's not buried, and it will come up. You'll meet people and go through circumstances, and you'll get up. Oh, that's just like when I was 6 and that guy did this to me, or that woman did that to me, or person said so and so to me. The child is still back there, and that child is still hurting. And I'm speaking from experience. I went through a lot of trauma because of the way that my parents treated each other. When you're a kid, you think you're part of it. I'm the only thing in the room, but not them. I must be the cause of all this screaming and yelling and horrible stuff that's going on. What did I do? I'll try not to do that. You're a kid. Back when we had a society, like 3 or 4 years ago, I would say I would seek out some professional consulting, I wouldn't call it therapy, just sort of, someone that you can gently talk to. They can sort of help you reflect on things so that they can, as you say, unbury them, give them a funeral, and then bury them properly. Honestly, I don't know if that's available anymore, except to somebody like, you know, Elon Musk, because most of the medical services I'm a cancer patient. I'd be dead if I had not had my insurance and the state cover chemotherapy treatment for, I don't know, a year and a half. Dead. I'd be ashes on somebody's mantle. We don't have that now. So maybe you can look into your community and see if there are, maybe the YWCA or some other organization has some sort of consulting or mental health cancer survivor. Yeah, we're all cancer survivors here right now. So that is also your trauma. You survived. Yay. So say we all. Yeah. Not a day goes by, I don't think to myself, even something, especially when something bad happens, I try to say to myself, Well, at least you're alive to feel that, and it's scant comfort, but it's true, you know. Um, we are all lucky that we had some sort of resources to take advantage of to survive, and we are crushed because we were struck down by something that probably, in my case, certainly it was genetic. I wasn't a smoker. My God, I was a vegetarian yoga teacher, not quite the bullseye for cancer, but there it was. So it sounds like that you have a lot of trauma, like a lot of people have a lot of trauma. And that, yeah, you're here for a reason. Yeah. Finding the reason is, a good part of the reason. Uh, what you might do is just, this helped me at one point. I started to think, I was almost paralyzed. I think this is before I even knew Michelle. I was driving. I was doing business the whole time I was going through chemotherapy and had cancer. I couldn't drive on the highway because I didn't have the reaction level for that. So I was driving locally 20, 30, 40 miles to get to a job site. And I remember thinking to myself, I have to stop doing this. This is going to kill me. I need to stop, go over here, sit down, get some help, detox. I had to go through, gosh, I don't even remember, over a year of chemotherapy and get this stuff out of my system, because unless you stop and detox, that toxic stuff is going to be there. Now, I don't know if you went through chemo or not, but any type of cancer therapy, it might have been surgery, surgery. I also had surgery, so it was a trifecta for me. So you have physical symptoms, you have emotional symptoms, you have mental symptoms, you have spiritual symptoms, and you have financial symptoms in my case. That all has to be resolved, you know. And by resolved, I don't mean you have to pay off all your financial debts and pay off all your emotional debts. You just have to see them for what they are and admit that they exist. And that's a good chunk of it. And if you have to go to somebody and say, look, I know I owe you $2,500. There's no way I'm going to be able to pay that off all at once. What do you need done? Can I do something? Can you just, can you write it off on your taxes? That sort of thing. This is excellent. Surgery resolved the physical. Yeah. Mine was more glandular lymphoma. So they would have had to remove 2/3 of my body to do that. So that's why they just poured caustic chemicals into me. Um, I sense that you're a really, really responsible, thankful, generous person who just has a lot of unresolved issues caused by a trauma that a lot of us go through, but relatively few. You can't hold this against yourself. You're not the cause of your cancer. It took me a long time to even admit that thought. It happened, but it's not like I ordered it. It wasn't something that I did that blew up on me. It was an inherent trait that manifested. And I believe most cancers are like that. I was probably exposed to a lot of cancer vectors, including electronic and chemical and physical and emotional and spiritual and everything else. But getting rid of all of that, you can't just pull a flush lever and it's all gone. You need to map it out. You need to go there on your map and look at it. You're extremely emotional this week. Any insight from your guides? Well, right now, I'm your guide. And I'm telling you, you're extremely emotional for a reason. You can answer that question. Why am I extremely emotional? You have to close your eyes, calm your breathing down a little bit, and just ask yourself, why am I feeling this? Don't force yourself. You just have to relax. You have to relax yourself into this. Where is this coming from? Why do I feel this? Have I ever felt anything like this before? You have to sleuth it out. And when you find that knot and you pull it apart, that's a skill. And then you go to the next knot and the next knot and the next knot. You have to do this. I mean, psychiatry, it's the same thing. I'm not saying you have to go to a psychiatrist. I'm just saying the psychiatrist does not heal the patient. The psychiatrist helps the patient to heal themselves by pointing out, okay, maybe think about this because other people have reported this made them nervous when they were a child. So, and you do have to rest. You're exhausted. I hear you. I was exhausted for years. I couldn't do 1/10 of what I used to be able to do. Um, so get some sleep. Melatonin is your friend. Now don't buy a bottle of 30 milligram melatonin capsules and start taking them. Start off very small. 1 milligram, take half, because everybody has a different level here. But you have to get rest. Rest is the first thing my doctors told me. You have to get 3 years off psych meds. Well, again, melatonin is not a psych med. Melatonin is basically it's a hormone that tells your body, okay, you can rest now. Now I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube. So, but melatonin is at the Rite Aid in our neighborhood next to the vitamins. So you can buy a little bit, start with a little teensy dose and see if it helps you sleep a little bit. Because you've got to start at the bottom and work your way up. You've got to rest, and then from a foundation of rest, you work your way up. And again, I'm with you. I've been there and I got out. And the encouraging news that I'm trying to give you is if I did it, you can do it. It takes time, but you can do it. Valerian, yeah, the gentle stuff. Valerian, yeah, watch your dosage, Yeah, meditation and breath work. So you're doing these things. The other thing you have to do is, this is going to sound silly, admit they're working. Because most people don't think vitamins, meditation, and breathing work. Oh, got to go to your doctor. These things do work. I'd be dead if they didn't work. Yeah, so as we say, hope that helps.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Neilani. And yes, and she believes. Awesome. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us, sweetie. And yeah, come back. Let us know how you're doing. That's a lot to carry around. Okay. Whew, thank goodness we have our remedies, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know what the whole queue is because we've got quite a few people coming in. We have Christine Dulay next, and then we have Fun Boy, which is also Philip, and then we have Wendy Fox, and then we have Joyful Jen, and then we're going to get into lightning round. And I went ahead and anyone who asked a question was tagged. So don't worry that we didn't get to your question because both of us are on it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get next to the next question. And it's from Christine. May I have a reading? I want to make sure you didn't ask anything else because sometimes that can happen. Okay. So, Miss Christine, I know a little bit about your situation, so the cards make sense to me. You're dealing with some Saturnian energy right now. There are some blocks, some delays, some issues regarding life. All right. So, but here's the good news. So before I get into the blocks that I found, I'm going to go into the overall energy in and around you. I got the 10 of Cups and the Sun. So you've got a really firm foundation that you're working from here. Okay. You have succeeded in becoming who you are. Okay. And you're very much a family-based person. You are tuned in to what needs to be done. You're very responsible. Your head is in the game for everyone involved. Okay. Your goal is everyone's goal. So they're really, really loving that about you. You can enjoy your success. You can be more, you're very respected in your family. Okay. You're seen as someone who is whole and stable. Okay. You can work with your family through this, okay, because that support is there. Now, the second card I got was the Sun, which is really good because what that tells me is that, you do have, you're entering kind of a time of play and brightness and joy, and the summer's going to be pretty good. Okay. So regardless of the block that I'm about to tell you about, you do have a good support system. You've got some really bright, beautiful, sunny energy in and around you. You are supported in more ways than you think. Okay. And this is the sun is one of the most positive tarot cards in the deck. Okay, so it's all about flying to your destiny date. It's about the need to share your highest qualities and achievements. It's radiating who you are and what you're about. It's a very fun, pretty, playful card. It brings a lot of support for you to grow. It's non-judgmental. It's very respectful. There's a beautiful cosmic connection to your soul. When I felt that when I pulled this card. So your existing relationships in your environment will improve dramatically when I tell you what you can kind of expect moving forward. Okay. Now I'm going to reveal the block. Okay. Just one second. There's a troll over here. I got it, honey. Okay. All right. So I got the injustice card. You're dealing with some injustice. A lot of us are right now because the eclipses took place in Virgo and Pisces. They started in October of last year and they're moving into this year. So this involves the bureaucrats. This also involves the spiritual elements that we're dealing with. Pisces are the light workers. Virgos are the bureaucrats. Those are the people that dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure the fences are up, make sure the insurance is working. You know who they are. Okay. These are the people that make sure that when after the storm hits, things can start getting repaired. They're not acting appropriately because they're eclipsed. Okay. This is happening with Jonathan and I. We lost our home. Okay. So we're kind of dealing with the Washington State Insurance Commission right now and we're not getting anywhere because of the eclipse energy. So you are not alone in this. So I tapped into your energy and how you're handling this a little bit, and know that, remember the beautiful positive cards that I found for you. Okay. Okay. I got the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay. So basically, you have a general reading from the guides. Okay. So basically what this tells me is you're a little mentally off right now because you're very frustrated at the irresponsibility and inaction of people that aren't acting right because they've been eclipsed. What eclipses do is they take away some of the goodness in our spirit and they cause us to act out, because what the nodes do, especially Rahu, is he causes us to develop bad karma, so we have to come back here and pay it off. He keeps us on the wheel of life again and again and again as humans until we can rise up, get off the wheel, and transcend to those higher planes of being. Okay, so there's a lot of pent-up bitterness that I felt here. It can turn into malicious disregard for other people's feelings. So be very careful when you're dealing with people that are being irresponsible, and realize that they are literally eclipsed right now. Okay. I actually had a very close friend and colleague have an eclipse on her moon, and I just stepped back and I'm praying for her and I'm giving her space. Okay. I suggest that you do the same thing for the people that are causing you all of these upheavals. Okay. Try to think of things that are mentally stimulating and humorous in your life to kind of bring up your spirits as you go through this, and avoid getting involved with people where they're trying to manipulate or control the situation in ways that aren't helpful. Okay. So this card is also my single by choice card. So be careful that you're not pushing away the family and the support system that's around you, because they are there to help you through this particular stage that I see coming. Okay. But this tells me that when you are right side up, you are a taskmaster. You really know how to get things done. You can separate your emotions from things and really get to the heart of what is necessary. And they're asking you to kind of to get yourself right side up, see this from a larger perspective, from up on your mountain, and not from a down on the ground perspective. See it from the vantage of an eagle and not from the chicken in the coop as the storm crosses over. Because as storms go over, chickens will, if you don't get them into their coops, into their nesting boxes, they'll literally fight with each other, and some of them will gouge each other's eyes out and hurt each other. Okay, because they're freaking out. They're coming in from a place of fear, of agitation, of reaction. An eagle, what it does is it senses the storm, it sees the rumblings, and it gets above the cloud, just like that beautiful Queen of Swords, and it sees it from a top-down perspective. And when the storm's over, it relaxes its wings and it comes back down to earth. Okay, they're asking you to develop more of that perspective of detachment and to take the reactivity out of it. You have every reason to react because people are being irresponsible, but just know that it is being caused by the deities and the planets right now. Okay. So this is what they're going to have you working on: your psychic development. Okay. The energy and healing work that you're doing right now will enable you to heighten your sensitivity to the energy around you and others. And that's also why you're feeling a little raw. So this will assist you in developing your discernment moving forward. Okay, Christine. So discernment is that feeling that you get in your body that signals you as to whether something feels right or wrong. It's their sixth sense. It's your gut feeling. Okay, and we talked a little bit about this in your session. Your moon needs a little work. So doing the mantras for the moon are very, very helpful for psychic development, because what Chandra does is at night, he gives us the divine Amrita, or the Soma, which is our divine discernment, and he can open this. Okay, and that's what the mantras that I gave you are for. So when you use your discernment, you're not going to take on the other energy of these people that are being irresponsible, and you're going to be able to separate yourself from the situation a little bit more and be more at peace. So envision energy flowing through you like water when you're meditating, and try not to take on too much of this, because you can develop more of a sinking feeling. When you let the water energy just kind of flow to you and come to you as it will, don't embrace it and don't fight it. Just let it flow. Okay. Remaining at this very elevated energetic vibration will allow you to tap into the realms of your psyche and have that eagle moment when you're able to rise up. So when you're in meditation, that's something that you can work on, is just imagine water literally flowing through your spirit and washing through some of the tamas that we had from just the dirt, the demonic debris from the eclipse energy. And that can help you a little bit when it comes to moving forward with more mental grace and acuity. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love as you go through that, and feel free to schedule a session anytime. I'm here for you. And yes, yes, insurance, I have breath, meditate, divine timing. Yes, yeah, know that this will pass. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for a bit, but just hang in there and know that this is a season. Okay, I'm excited to see what Jonathan has to say, because he's recently gone through very similar circumstance. And if you guys don't know about it, you can see our first episode of the Boomer Mill where we go into it. So it's pretty intense. So all right. Take care, Christine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Christine. I'll just summarize what Michelle said. And yes, we went through a massive financial, emotional, residential, familial, betrayal, catastrophe. And it was because I believed that a couple of members of my immediate family, not extended family, immediate family, were what they were not. This isn't even over yet. We're still in the middle of it. They're basically, somebody got into the family, convinced a family member that they were the true love of their life, even though their husband, who was dying of cancer, they were still married to, and that all she needed to do was to cheat Michelle and I out of a house that I inherited from my former partner and sell it and keep the money. Now, you couldn't sell this to a TV network as a movie of the week, because it's just the plot stumbles and falls down on the floor. Nobody's going to believe that, except my sister-in-law. Not only believed it, supported it. So the only reason that I bring it up, probably the only reason Michelle brings it up, is this is a very twisted, torturous, dark time, which means that we have to grab our suspenders, pull ourselves up, and keep ourselves there. And you do that by inner work, breathing, meditation, that sort of thing. Asanas work for me. They might work for you too, because they not only relieve the physical stress of the body, which is helpful, but they also relieve the stress on the energetic body, which is what keeps a physical body alive. So if you have a yoga class you can go to, I can't recommend anybody currently, but there are some good ones on YouTube. So no harm, no foul. If you don't like it, change the channel. It's very difficult to get up from you go into a yoga class, the person starts, you realize this person doesn't know anything, and it's just wrong. You have to get up and walk past all the other students. I've done that. You don't want to do that too many times. People get upset. But there's a lot of asanas, physical yoga, Physical yoga is very, very good initially because it stretches your body out, it stretches the nerves out, it also stretches out the psychic body and the psychic nerves, and it helps you to relax. If we can relax, we can handle most things. The trouble is that we don't know how to relax in this society. People want to relax, they go out and they get stimulated. Wrong. That doesn't work. It'll make you sleep because you're exhausted and you pass out, but that's not really relaxing. So um, it sounds like you've probably been through what Michelle and I have been through, or some version of it. And we know, actually, I'd have to say, we know virtually no one that hasn't gone through something like this in the last, let's say, 10 years. It's very rare to meet somebody that's like, oh, no, no, I work for this place. I've worked for 15 years. They pay me a really great salary. I live over in such and such a location, really wonderful neighbors. And, yeah, I just bought a new car, got a great deal on it. That's not happening around us. You know, I'd like to think that it's happening somewhere, and I don't want to sound like a complete downer, but again, I've spent a minute in society. I have been up and down that ladder, and I have never seen anything like this. This is like topsy-turvy world. So if you feel like you're upside down, you are. Because somebody grabbed the ladder and flipped it. And now we're all staring at the ground as we're hanging by our toes. So um, I would recommend, yes, breath work, meditation, or concentration. Really, very few of us can meditate. We can concentrate. Meditation is what the guys that have been doing this for 150 incarnations can do. Concentration will do for us because that can slow and calm the mind. And that's what we're trying to do, is to get awareness of the mind, to get awareness of where the stress is, to get awareness of what it is, and then breathe, try to relax. It's like if you've ever had a Charlie horse, which is where it's what we used to call in the South, your muscle contracts. It's not voluntary, it just contracts. And you have to literally, with your mind, feel it and relax it. You can't rub it, it's not going to relax. You have to feel it and you have to say, relax. We're going through a gigantic Charlie horse in this country, and it's very hard to grab a hold of it and say, relax. This would be like relaxing your entire body with one effort. You got to start small and work your way through it. So I will say again, are you feeling upset? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling confused? Are you feeling everything's upside down? Are you feeling like all the people around you have gone crazy randomly? Sometimes they're sane, sometimes they're crazy. That's what we're experiencing too. And we know a lot of other people that are in other parts of the country and in other countries, and they're also saying the same thing. We're going through some sort of psychophysical, cultural, economic, I won't even say revolution, change right now. Look at our own, what used to be called government. What the hell is that? So yeah, took the news off from the noise. Excellent. Excellent. You have to take breaks at any rate. I've tried it, but I also know you have to be aware of what's going on, because you have to know which direction to run when it's time to run. So Christine, what I'm trying to tell you is you're not alone. Everybody's feeling a lot of what you're feeling. Now, I know that's scant comfort again, but stick with it. Breathing, relaxation, meditation is probably beyond all of us, but we can practice calming exercises. Sitting, closing your eyes, folding your hands, and just counting your breaths. Count to 10, 10 in, 10 out, and then 10 in and 10 out. Just do that. That can be very, very surprisingly helpful in calming us down, because it's regulation. You're regulating your breath. Your breath is involved in all the rest of your body's mechanisms. So if you can regulate your breath, do it manually, get used to it, and it can be very, very calming for you. And I hope that helps.
Yes, and we do hope that helps, Christine. And Jonathan doesn't know you're a client because I keep that confidential. But the pranayama that we practiced is definitely what I picked up on. Jonathan actually taught it to me. So, and it keeps the vata or the anxious energy down. Okay, so that's something that you can do. You can go back to the tape and then go and you can do the pranayama. We do that every morning after we do our japa and kirtan practice. Okay, we start our day off with the asanas, and then we do our mantras, which is japa or kirtan, and then we do our breathing exercises, and then we'll sit in meditation or read spiritual text. Right now we're reading the Mahabharata, so that's just some things that can kind of help you. The Mahabharata is really good for anyone interested because it goes into how in every age that we find ourselves there is an evil king and a good king, and the nation who decides on the king will determine the suffering for the next generation. So it's really interesting read. I recommend it if you haven't heard of it. It's the Mahabharata. There's many translations out there. All right, and you're so welcome, Christine. I'm sending you lots of love there. And Joyful Journey, I do have you in the queue. So thank you for posting a more specific question. We appreciate that. So Fun Boy is next. I'm excited to read this one because there's a lot of energy around it. Will my online interest in passive income do well? Okay, you got it. So, um, the first card I got was start collaborating with others. I got Libra. This also includes collaborating in a way that you are attracting people with similar energy and vibration to you. When I first started getting into this, when I was reading for people in 2001, I found I came in with a lot of energy, a lot of young, youthful 20 something energy. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so great. I'm so excited. We're going to really be helpful. And I soon figured out that I needed to set some boundaries. So I pulled Virgo for the next card for you. Okay. So paying attention to those fence posts. Okay. Because there are a lot of people in the community that claim to be light workers, who claim to be helpful, that are either mentally ill, emotionally ill, and or they're there to they're going to the watering hole they're predators looking for prey. Okay, so just be aware that exists in the environment. You're going to come in with a lot of energy, a lot of really fun things to add to the conversations. But when you tap into people's energy, you do need to set some energetic boundaries, and you definitely need to do so when you are putting your energy out there, because it can attract low vibes and high vibes. I call it flies and butterflies. Okay, so just making sure that when you come across the flies, that you deal with them in a way that's appropriate and that is loving and kind, and you move them on their way in the best way possible. That's what Virgos do. They keep the fence posts up. There are eclipses going on in this area, so just be aware of that. Okay, they're going to be going on for a bit. So I got the sixth house. So treat this like a contract job, because the sixth house is all about contracts. That's all Jonathan and I work in, is contracts. So being self-employed means that you're going to be setting your own hours. You're going to be doing a lot of your own work. For instance, when we had a medical emergency, I had to open up my calendar to take on Indian clients and things like that. What that helped us do is, pay for things that needed to be paid for. But, India is a different time zone. So you're going to be working late at night, working with people that are against your sleep schedule, things like that. So even though it's going to provide you with a lot of freedom, it's also going to cause you to be your own boss and make some hard decisions and have to push yourself in ways that you didn't think were possible. So maintaining a very specific daily routine like Jonathan and I do can help you stay healthy when those unexpected things crop up, because they're likely to. Know that every time you up your spiritual vibration, you will encounter some type of test or lesson as you move forward in this. And taking care of your health is the most important thing that you can do. Health is wealth, is what we say in the yoga community. So making sure that you're doing that, Fun Boy, on a daily can help protect your energy. Like I said, Jonathan and I do our asanas, we do our mantras, and we do this in the morning and at night just to protect our energies, both in the astral and in the physical. So know that when you put your energy out there, you're going to attract flies and butterflies. Take care of your health, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. All right. That's the main thing. I picked a couple of tarot cards to kind of help you through this. Okay, Fun Boy. The first one I got was Death Reverse. Don't fear the changes that are going to accompany this. Okay. The basic problem here is that you may not be able to let something go to make room for something new, is what they're showing me. Resisting change is painful, but it's best to let God or Goddess guide you in this. If you have a daily routine or spiritual practice that you dedicate yourself to, I consider that to be the number one shield that you can put in front of you when doing anything involving the public, whether it's spiritual, physical, or in any capacity. I also, I used to own a number of jewelry stores, and people would literally come in and dump their entire life on me. And my ex at the time literally said, you should start a counseling practice where, we charge by the hour. And I just literally looked at him and said, these are customers, they're coming in with their problems. And I had to learn ways to redirect the conversation in ways that were helpful and put it back onto the situation at hand, which was the piece of jewelry they were looking to buy. So you're going to have to set some energetic vibes and vibrations with any career that you have. Okay. So don't think that just because you're your own boss, you're not going to come across the drama, because it's there. Okay. So I asked, what's this drama look like? I'm like, okay, guys, what's the drama look like? I got the same card as I got for Scott. I got the 5 of shells reversed. Okay. Actually, no, did I get this for Scott or did I get this from someone else who said that this was a card for them too? Anyways, I was in spirit. So the 5 of shells, okay, that came up reversed. This is that past disappointments can be preventing you from enjoying the present. There's going to be a period of disappointment, maybe some indifference, some rejection, some confusion on how to react or move forward. Walking away from the relationship will not solve the underlying problem, because they're just going to come back in a different form in another relationship until you learn how to deal with them. That's what happens when we step into new things. We encounter obstacles that we're then forced to deal with. And those are the devas literally saying, look at this. Let's see how you do with this. And then if you can pass that test, they'll give you something else and then something else. It's taken on those rungs in the ladder. And what that does is it helps us develop that higher spiritual perspective. And we've gone after trial after trial after trial. And then all of a sudden we're above the cloud line and we're able to really look at things from a clear perspective. But it takes a lot of trials to get there. Okay. So staying with someone when you should leave is not a good thing in this case. There's going to be a thinning. Your vibe is going to get higher. And there are going to be people that are going to be trying to access you in your divine energy. And they look like this. You see the guy in the water? Here's a guy in the water. I don't know if you can see him. He's going, help me, help me, help me. And this guy over here, he's looking at these cups that have just been knocked over. Okay. Now, this is you standing on the shore. Your back is to the person in the water. The person in the water is someone that I said earlier. This person has helped them again and again and again and again and again. And they just keep experiencing disappointment after disappointment with this person. Okay. Also notice all 3 cups on the ground are knocked over. There's 2 behind him that he's also not looking at. One of the cups has poison in it. Those are the types of people and situations that you will encounter when you put yourself out there. Know that every person that leaves is not bad. It just means that your vibe is rising and they're collecting the right type of community just for you. So when you get into your collaborations, when you get into meeting new people and doing new things, I know it's just a side job. You're going to have to continue to set those emotional boundaries with people. Okay. They don't go away. The lessons don't go away, even if we walk away. All right. And I guess, yes, I did get the 6th house. The 6th house is contract work. It's a side gig. But what I'm saying is you're going to have to, even though it's a side gig, the side gig can cut into other areas of your life. So you need to set boundaries to protect those areas. Okay. I did get that you're going to be working a lot with your psychic development, because I got the psychic development card. Okay. This is a beautiful card to get. And I also got that your perception is going to change a little bit too. So there's going to be so with energy, there's a slight shift in your perception, and that's all that's going to be needed to move forward. So remember that these are the guides just trying to help you retain a little bit of balance. Otherwise, what else, guys? Okay. Is there a situation in your life that you are viewing from a very rigid perspective? You can let me know or not. Are you certain that pay attention to the drama going on around you in your environment? Cultivating the ability to step outside of the drama and see the issue from a very different view or situation for simply the way it is. That'll allow you to let go of the tether that holds you to a certain viewpoint that frees the situation up in a natural way. Okay. And it'll help you get back into balance. Whew. Okay. So you got some thinning to do. You got some things that you got to let go. There is going to be some transformation in this. Know that it's the astrology of the moment right now. A lot of us are dealing with this. I got a lot of Virgo 6th house energy. That's where the eclipses are hitting. That's why I'm giving you so many little warning labels in this reading. But I'm wishing you all the best, fun boy. And if you do those things, know that the balance that you're seeking can be achieved. And I am excited to see what Jonathan has for you. So take care, and please come back and let us know how you're doing.
Okay, fun boy. I've done investing. I've done passive. I've done active. I've done combos. I'm actually having trouble with your question. So let me ask you a question, and you can explain it in the comments here. Your online interest, does that mean you're intellectually curious, or does that mean you have deposited money into something? In passive income, passive income means that you have put some money into a platform or some type of money generating concept, and you have absolutely no control over it. So you dropped your money in a bucket, and your money's in there with a bunch of other people's money in a bucket. That's, I want to answer your question, and I'm not really sure. There's always drama. Well, we're not talking about the grocery store. We're talking about your investment in passive income. Side job. So I'm just getting more confused. Maybe I'm not going to be able to help you very much. What I need to know is, what is the investment? Where is the investment? And what is your stake? Fun Boy would be an excellent bot. There may just be a really long lag here. I generally stay out of drama. Okay, me too. That's why I'm asking these questions. So I guess we give it a couple of minutes more and then move on. 'Cause I'm not trying to not answer. It's just that I don't understand the question. That's my dilemma. It's possible I just don't understand it. Passive investment means you put it in, you leave it in, and you take it out. And sometimes you don't have any control over how long you leave it in before you take it out. So that's what I'm going to have to know to help you at all. So. Well, I would say let's move on. Seriously, best of luck with your investment. No money, free info on creating ebooks. So you can always make more money. You can never make more time. So how much time is this going to take? So yeah, okay, so you can go online and you can get all sorts of information about how you can go to ChatGPT and say, create a book on egg raising with Rochester hens, and you can get a 650,000 word tome that you can put on Amazon that no one will ever care about or read. So you need to find a market, address the market, and monetize the market. So I get these things in my email. I've had email since there was email, practically before there was email. I get so many offers about stuff from extremely credible and reputable guys that a year later said, well, that didn't work out, but this one did. And so we all try these things, and some work and some don't. So creating ebooks and throwing them on someplace like Amazon or eBay, How many books are there on Amazon and how many books are there on eBay? You're going to have to hit a niche that is passionate, has money, and has very few other resources. If you can find that niche, I'd go for it. Passionate about what it is, plenty of money to spend, and you can learn enough about this niche to show them something that they can't find otherwise. If you can do that, let's talk, because that's the hard stuff. Telling people how to invest in savings bonds for a return of 0.005% over 30 years, not going to get you a lot of buyers. So it's a really tough way to make money right now. You can actually, I can tell you this, I saw an offer the other day. I've been on a mailing list since I was, 40, and it was a course that cost about $20. It was prompts that you can plug into one of the many, many, many AIs now to create hundreds of ebooks on all these various topics like that, because it's just words, right? And put them on a website, monetize it by, attaching a bank account to it, and boom, you're rich. Really? No. Uh, It's okay, dude. Long, long lag. Damn. Yeah. If you don't have a lot of time to put into it, there's your answer. Because this is going to take a lot of time. This is not selling ebooks online is not hands off. It's just not. So if you have a very, very niche market, like again, people that only raise one type of Rochester hen that lays a certain color egg, and you have that market and you have information for that market, maybe, but how big is that market, right? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there selling and giving away books right now. There are people who will give away a free ebook just to get an email address that they can send offers like you're responding to that email address. That's how people are making money, is finding people who will put $15 to $100 into a money making, let's not call it a scheme, prospect. And if you're charging $25 and you got 100, that's $2,500. That person made a lot of money off that book. You probably won't. So, but fun boy, it could be fun, boy. You do you. If you get rich, remember I told you neither to do it or not to do it. Yeah. If you have some time, you find it interesting, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, that's a hobby. Go for it.
Okay, we hope that was helpful, and thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with the new venture. Again, I got that there was some changes that you're not going to like, and I did get some disappointments. Okay, so again, Virgos are that's where the eclipse energy is. So know that there's some darkness there. Okay, fun boy. That's why I had so much in my reading as well. All right, we're sending you lots of love, and come back and let us know how you're doing. Okay, we want the best for you. All right, so our next question is the lovely Wendy Fox, and then we have Joyful Jen, and then we're going to get into, and then yes, I believe, yeah, then we can get into lightning round. Okay, I know that there's not as many people left in the chat, so just know that you have to be here in order to get your question answered. Okay, so just be aware for that for lightning round. So Wendy says, I want to make a major change because I have changed since my son died. Condolences, sweetheart. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. That's never easy. The death of a daughter, a son. Oh my gosh, it's one of the worst things that can happen to a parent. So my heart goes out to you, and I'm sending you lots of love. Okay, sweetheart. I got some good news for you. Okay. The first card I got was the sun, and then I got the fifth house. Okay, the fifth house is the house of children. So this tells me that he is in a place where the luminaries are. It's a very beautiful place. It's a very creative place. It's a bright place, and that he's there. He's really enjoying it. It literally says demonstrate with the trust of a child. He's realizing fun, romance, making art. He's acting like a leader and doing it dramatically, things like that. So he is not here physically anymore, but the plane that he hopped to is freaking amazing. Okay, because I tapped into it, and it's a very beautiful plane for the soul to grow and to learn on. All right, so know that it was his time, and that he is in a place where he is learning a lot about the last birth that he had and the previous births. And he was very creative, a musician. That's all fifth house stuff. That's entertainment. Okay. So that tells me that he might be on with the Gandharvas. You can look this up. The Gandharvas are, it's Gandarva. Okay. And sometimes there's an H after the D. Okay. Gandharvas. They're the music makers. Okay. And there is a plane where they go and they learn different instruments and creativity and play. And it's because music is a very, very important part of the ethereal realms. Okay. He was a beautiful soul. He's actually coming through. All right. So I'm really, really excited that, he decided to be so open with me. I asked my Talking to Heaven deck what he would like to say to you, and he was very clear. And he said, I am just a thought away. Please do not think of me as gone, because I'm not. I'm right here. Please don't think it's heaven or up in the sky, because it's not. It's right here. Yes, I am happily busy with learning and helping. I'm also happily willing to be right by your side the moment you need me, including now. Okay, Wendy? All of our former communication barriers have been lifted, and I now understand and hear you perfectly. I hear your thoughts. Please don't worry. I don't judge them or you. My heart is completely open to compassion, and I understand the love you like I could never do before. And that's why I'm with you in the moment you think of me. So he's using the love connection to connect with your soul at every moment. He's actually closer to you now than he was when he was here in the physical. So this tells me that you are part of a soul family together. Okay. And the fact that he's a Gandharva tells me he's high vibe. All right. So that's the good news. He is really like enjoying it at this place. And he's just like, oh, mom, this is so great. This is just, oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So I asked him for a healing message for you. And I got past, I got present, and I got future. Okay. For the overall focus. So this is about integrating these three things. Okay. When we arrive on this earth, we usually come with a plan, and we all have lessons to learn as part of this plan. That's why I think he might be soul family, because I can see the multiple generations here. So when we encounter experiences that we label as bad, like a death, we're carrying around and we're labeling that duality with us, and that can create baggage. Okay. So he's pointing to the baggage of his death. So when we use these labels to react, to direct our reactions. Thanks, you guys. When you're using this label of bad, bad, bad to direct your actions and your experiences, you can, in the present, you can project them into the future. That's what he's showing me. Okay. And that can lower your energy vibration. So he's saying, don't project my death and the feelings that you had in and around that time into your future. When you're able to integrate the lessons into this new experience without labels, you're free to remain in the present and enjoy what truly is. He wants you to be more present and to stop thinking as much about his death, because that can affect your future. Okay. He's right with you. He is in your present. Okay. You need to know this. When you do move forward into the future without these expectations or these agendas, which are coming from a place of fear, you can be much more open on what will be for your highest and best self. Okay, so let go of labels and judgments surrounding the situation of his death. That's the main thing he's asking you to do. And he's asking you to be more present, because he is presently with you right now. See, all these birds are on top of each other. He's closer to you now than he was when he was alive. So even though you feel this separation, this duality, he's right there. So I went to my crystal deck, because he showed me over there. I don't normally use this one, but the one that he pulled was aquamarine. Okay, aquamarines are usually associated with March babies. Okay, divine life purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. So this tells me you have some spiritual gifts, Wendy. Okay, you have some attunement there, and aquamarine might help you align with that, because aquamarine helps with both the throat, but also predominantly the third eye. So working with aquamarine could help you as well. You always think of him as a hawk. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, this is a very winged, beautiful angel, but the hawks, that's actually seeing things as signs. So the birds stacked up on each other was definitely a sign as well. Hawks are all about focusing on the present moment and going for those goals. If a hawk wasn't present, he wouldn't get dinner. Okay, so not focusing on the past and focusing on that present moment is really what's going to help you kind of reattune your energy toward he's not gone, he's more present with me now than ever. And not a lot of souls. I've done readings for people that have passed, and sometimes the souls don't go to the best places. Sometimes they're doing shadow work. Sometimes they're doing stuff where they can't be in and around that person's environment. This is not the case with your son. He's high vibe and he's right there with you. Okay. So I did get an affirmation card for you, and as another bird with the planets. Okay. So this tells me that the birds are a way that your son is trying to send you signs and symbols from the other side. Okay. Look for feathers. I am enchanted. We are enchanted and enchanting when we appreciate all of life's miracles, big and small, and share our sense of awe and wonder with those we care about. I breathe in the magic that surrounds me because you have a new spirit in and around your environment. I am filled with delight. I breathe out complacency. Okay, so you've got some changes coming your way. You've got some really interesting energy. Yeah, I love that about the hawk too, Jeff. I would definitely look up hawk spirit totem energy and see what your son might be telling you. Okay, I actually found a beautiful osprey seahawk feather the other day, and I literally found the feather. I ran home, and I just started researching what it meant. What are these ospreys meaning? And it's like trust in your intuition, step into these new things. The hawk is a little different. Is it a red-tailed hawk? Is it this type of hawk? Be very specific with the type of hawks and birds that you're seeing, because that's clearly how your son is choosing to communicate with you. Okay, so I do feel like I have spiritual gifts. I want to be in my purpose. Oh, I'm so glad. That's wonderful. Yeah, he's listening to you as you're talking to him. Even as you're thinking about him, he's there. Okay. Very strong soul. All right. I love it when I get really clear messages from the other side. So I'm excited to see what Jonathan has to say, and I'm sending you lots of love, Wendy. Take care, sweetheart.
Yeah, hi, Wendy. I'm going to go back up to a comment you made that said, I'd like to complete my Ayurvedic training and yoga therapy. I'm in sales and I'm exhausted. Um, I think that would really be a great idea. For one thing, Ayurvedic training is very limited in this country and our society. There are a few places, but it's not like if yoga, for example. I was a yoga teacher for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 years back in the 70s and 80s. At that time, that's where Ayurveda is now. You know, you had to find a place in your city or a nearby city and drive there and, you know, sign up for it and take a preliminary class. Nowadays, yoga classes, you can look on YouTube, you know, how many do you want? You know, every exercise place in every city and every country in the world probably has, okay, yoga classes, you know, Ayurvedic, same route, but it's much more of a healing therapy, you know. And when we talk about yoga classes, that's like saying Bible classes. You know, the yoga class people are usually talking about is hatha yoga, physical yoga. You know, postures for specific nerves and glands and things. So um, I see that therapy coming back. I was a yoga teacher for, you know, again, years and years and years back in the 70s and 80s for a major organization that still exists, but it's just kind of a shell of itself when I was there because the guru has since passed away. But Ayurveda is a valid modality that's used in a lot of places in the world. It's an actual thing that works. You know, as you say, you have 200 hours of training and you get to like level 2. You know, I think Ayurveda is going to catch on. It's already here. There's a market for that, but it's kind of like where yoga was when I was doing it in the 70s and 80s. You know, people that kind of knew about it, but all of a sudden in the 80s, just about the time I was phasing out, it was being talked about more generally, and people were curious. Huh, yoga, what does that do? I'm under so much stress. Is that going to relieve my stress? Yeah, it will. I think that's where Ayurveda is headed in this country because it tends to happen here last because people in our country are used to think that if you can just throw money at it or go to a standard hospital, uh, and we should do a show on hospitals, you know, That's a whole other thing. So Ayurveda, yeah, I think that is an up and coming concept. And Reiki, also, I'm not sure if that goes hand in hand. Yoga therapy, I would be very cautious about because, and again, people can call things, yoga therapy can be something completely different than what I might be imagining. The yoga that I did was actually, it was physical, it was mental, it was spiritual, it was emotional, it was, it was a very, very multi-level thing. Doing yoga classes with people, doing hatha yoga classes where you're putting your body in different positions to relieve stress and stretch out nerves and tendons and muscles and things. You have to have a lot of training in that because people can really hurt themselves getting into these positions if they don't know how to do it properly. And that's what the teacher is supposed to do. So it could be more like meditation. Uh, but if I were you, I'd probably look very much into the Ayurvedic concept. And you must, when you look into it, you already have a 200 hour. I'm not sure. I'm sure it probably goes up to 1,000 and beyond hours. But if there's someone that you can apprentice with and just sort of, just see how it works out for you. Because the other thing is, I know a lot of people that got into the yoga organization that I was in because they were students and they loved it. It solved a lot of their physical and neurological and even emotional problems, the stretching and the breathing and stuff. Teaching it is a whole different thing. It's like going to a restaurant and the meals are fantastic. It's a wonderful experience. So you decide to open a restaurant and you find out you hate cooking. So, but that's not your situation because obviously you're going for a 500-hour course in Ayurveda. So you're probably already figured out you kind of have an attraction to it. And I do think you might be riding an upward wave. We would both like to find a really competent Ayurvedic practitioner in our area. And there should be more than one or two in our area because we are in a very, very happening sort of area in the east side in Washington State. And nobody that we've looked into, we would seriously go to. We would probably have to go to India, frankly, to get the kind of Ayurveda that I'm familiar with from way back in time when I was a yoga teacher. So, yeah, you love meditation, you love yoga, you love teaching, you're good at it. You just answered your own question. I'll just wish you the best of luck. It's one of the most rewarding things that I ever did was watching someone actually hit that moment when they relax because their body changes and you can see it. And people would sit up, literally, I'm not kidding, that final relaxation. They would go through that and they would sit up and say, "What was that?" That's you relaxing. Yeah. So best wishes, Wendy.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Wendy, and for sharing your and your son's energy with us. He really is a beautiful soul. And, when you do those spiritual practices, it makes it easier to attract the more positive soul energies from the other side as well. So it could be very beneficial for your own healing as well. So we're sending you lots of love, and we hope you come back and let us know how you're doing. Please check in. We really do care. All right. So American Mutt, we are going to get to lightning round. We have one more tipper, so please be patient. All right. And Ishika, nice to see you. Welcome to our channel. So joyful journey. And just to let everyone know who's in lightning round, we have this American Mutt. We have NN. We have Emma Fry. We have Blessed One. We have Sharon O'Brien. We have Joby, Joby, and we have Charlene Kramer, and we have Rishi. Okay, so if you're in the audience, when I call on you, please be here. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next question. Okay, so this one is from the lovely, joyful Jen. I'd like to change my question to, will I get offered a contract at my job after my 3-month probation? Okay. Yes, you are in the lightning round, American Mutt. Okay, I think you might be first. Let me look. You're first. Okay, so if you just wait for Joyful's question, we can go ahead and get to you, okay? And then Wendy says, thanks, laughing. I know when I can feel the room, when they've gotten to that point. Thank you so much again and again. He was so beautiful. I love you both. Thank you all. We love you too, sweetie. And it's nice to find another sister in yoga. So thank you for joining us. And you're welcome, American Mutt. And thank you for checking in, Rishi. I see you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me find your question, Jen. All right. So I got to know, sweetie. All right. And it's a very clear no from spirit. Usually they just kind of give me like things that you can do or like things to work on. But I got Leo, which is how you shine. And then I got the Key 2 card, which is a no. It literally says there will reconsider, there will not be the self-confidence to create. Remember leadership, reconsider your creativity. Now is not the time to do what you want and take something a little bigger. But I will tell you what's going on behind the scenes, okay? So this is what I got. The first card I got was the 3 of Pentacles. And I was like, oh, this is a yes card. Yay. I love getting yes cards. Okay. This is like really great things coming to you through your career and your career efforts. They're being blessed. So you are very much appreciated at work. So don't worry about that. Okay. You can accept invitations that are supportive of your career and your ambitions with this. And so I was really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh. So maybe this is just like being put off or something like that, because this is all about mutual support. It's all about, business aspirations, things like that. But then I got this card. Okay. And we all know what this one is. Okay. I don't know if there's someone in the office who is acting like a bit of a thief, but I got the thief right after I got that card. So I got that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing your job very well. You're a hard worker and people appreciate what you have to give to the company and what you're doing, but you're encountering some opposition at work. Okay. Be clever and observant with dealing with destructive behavior and disappointing news. Okay. Evaluate the risk you're taking, because there's someone who's not being rational or careful where you are. Okay. This is a person who's carrying around a lot of broken promises, and they're usually not in the best, their mood's a little off. Okay. So they're saying be very logical, be very persistent, use every trick you know without resorting to anything immoral or illegal. Okay. This don't underestimate this person. They can be very formidable. Okay. But you may be tempted to stand up to them. But they're basically saying, go for that wise counselor within, and they can help you see the self-created problems and help you eliminate the negative behavior problem that kind of attracted this energy in the first place. But what I got was, and this has happened to Jonathan and I more than once, is there's a thief in the midst, okay? And they're stealing the good intentions and work that you're doing in the workplace, okay? See if you're saying anything here. This is a reoccurring situation at my jobs. Oh, honey. So this is karmic. Okay, because I did get Key 2. Key 2 is the karmic planet. He represents all of our past lives. Jonathan and I are going through this right now. I'm actually in Saturn Key 2 right now. And just for entertainment purposes only, I did lose my job to someone who is not skilled at all. They're a total fraud. So you're not alone. And this has happened to me in more than one job as well. So you're not alone here. So I got to know because of this situation. Okay. So I asked your guides what the best thing that you could do moving forward with this information. Okay. I got that you need to retreat. Okay, this is a good time to retreat into your safe space, take out some quiet time, gather your resources for what's to come. Okay, work on making your body, your mind, and your soul as strong and unencumbered as possible. Okay, Jen, this is a card that urges you to get all of your ducks in a row. So, because there's some changes that are lying ahead that you're not really seeing yet. So changes are they can sometimes come a little fast and furious, but even when they're longed for, they can make us feel a little unprepared. You're going to be a little unprepared here. Okay. So you're advised to prepare for the changes coming your way soon. Okay, Jen, and take time to process the changes that you've recently gone through, because as you revealed, this is karmic. And as my cards revealed, this is karmic. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love as you go through this revelation. And I'm interested to see what Jonathan has to say, because he has very similar experiences with contract work and jobs and things like that as well. So I'm sending you all love, okay?
Yeah, I know what it's like to have like tryout or, probation or whatever they call it. And when you take that, you're in a mood of, oh boy, I almost have a job, or now I get to go up and get up every day and go to work like the rest of the world. You feel like you're fitting back in. But aside from that, emotionally, is this a job that you want to be in for years? You take a job, you don't want to do it for 6 months and go, nah, I thought this was going to be better. These people changed once I was hired. So is this something that you want to be in, knowing that we live in a very, very volatile world? Whatever you're doing, unless it's making cookies on a line or something, it's probably going to change constantly, because that's the nature of what's going on. The market of any type is filled with people who are trying to be at the top of the market or knock somebody else off the top. They're changing products, they're adding products, they're adding features. It's every industry that we're aware of is going through massive change. It's what I call changing the tire on your car as you're driving it on the freeway. you know? So that's how most jobs are now. So is this something that you want to be in for the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years? Again, I know what it's like to be out there thinking, thank God somebody thinks enough about me to at least let me come in and apprentice for a while. The other question I would have for you is, do they have a habit of having people during this sort of preliminary period and then they're gone? Because there are businesses that will allow people to work. They think they're working toward a job. They're just doing a 3 month position at some level, cleaning out old records or something like that. And then when that task is done, sorry, we don't have anything for you to do, and they're gone. It's a really dishonest way to do it, but it's done all the time. Because they don't want to put a full-time worker on it, because it doesn't make financial sense to put somebody that you're paying $75,000 a year to go in and delete old records. On the other hand, you have to go in and delete old records because it's going to mess up your data if you don't do that. So make sure that you're not going into a situation like that. Because if you spend 3 to 6 months in an internship and then when the records are all clean, boom, you're out the door. You just lost maybe another job around the corner that you could have been applying for. I'm not saying that's what I'm getting. Okay, so at the risk of offending you, you're that person. You don't want to be there long term. You just need the money. I get it. I get it, until you find another position. To be honest with you, this is not psychic. This is just a business owner and an employee. You'd be better off finding that position. Just go find that position. Because if you're looking right now and that position you want, you're working for this company for 3 months, the position that you're actually looking for comes up. Are you going to quit and probably get a bad reference and then go over to this other place and say, well, I was looking for you all along, but I went to work for these guys and now they hate me. That's why they left me this reference. So I know what it's like to watch your bank balance drop by the day, you know, and you don't have that job and there's money not coming in and something is better than nothing. They aren't going through on the promises that they made. Why do you even have a question? I mean, I'm not trying to offend you or anything, but if they're lying to you now, hello. Well, we can't pay you this week. We thought we were going to be able to, but we can't pay you this week because we had some unexpected expenses like everyone else's salary. So, again, I've been out there. I've been incredibly hopeful in situations, and I've actually taken that job. That's why I'm so loud about this. I've taken those jobs. I've taken those apprenticeships. I have worked 3 to 6 months at practically nothing. I lost money going to the job. And then when I finished doing what they wanted me to do, it was like, we thought we were going to be able to hire you, but we can't. We sure liked you though, you know. So two different factions telling you different things. I'm hoping to get what I was promised. Yeah, there's a thing about hope and one hand and the other hand and see which one fills up first. Hope is not the way to approach a job situation, particularly if if your money is getting really critical. You'd be better off working at a short-term job that's there to get you some money than going into something where they're just going to use you up and throw you away. So, wow, that's happy, isn't it? But, you know, this is my experience with things like this, two different factions telling you different things. So you're going into a situation where you don't even know who to believe. So I like how you slid that in from the side. So I that's my advice. I would probably look for something else. You're welcome.
Okay, Jen, we're sending you lots of love as you work through that. And you're not alone. Jonathan and I have been in similar situations, and they're karmic. And it just tells me that you're vibing up because people are coming to you and going, I'll pay that off for you. So if you see it from that perspective of, oh, okay, that's paid off. And okay, what can I learn next time? That's kind of how we use it to go through. And even though we work on contracts, we do come across clients that want a lot of work and they don't want to pay us. So you got to be really, really careful for that too. And thank you so much for your appreciation. We appreciate you and your energy too, Jen. Sending you lots of love, sweetie. Okay, Jonathan, it's lightning round. Woohoo! Oh, thank you, sweetie. All right. So there's not a lot of people left in the audience. I can see the numbers. So I'm going to start calling on people and we're going to get you as you come. Okay, the first one is the lovely This American Mutt. Are you here? And I saw you a little earlier. I'll go ahead and answer your question. Just please check in. We have NN. Please check in. Noha, beautiful name. Emma Fry, please check in and let us know that you're here. Blessed One, please check in and know that you're here. Sharon O'Brien, please come check in and let us know that you're here. Joby, please come in and let us know that you're here. Charlene, please come in and let us know that you're here. And Rishi, if you're still here, let us know. Okay. And then we're going to go right in line. I'm going to get This American Mud because I believe she's still here. Seriously. Woohoo! There you are. All right. Thank you so much for your patience, sweetie. Should I stay on my path or start a new journey? Okay, so I'm going to take this question, and the next person that comes in is, let's see, Emma is here. Excellent, Emma. So Emma's question is, will I hear from my friend David soon, and where do you see the relationship going? Or did you want me to, how did you want to did you want to handle that one, Jonathan, or did you want me to pull card? Okay, so we'll handle that one. Okay, what is my, okay, so should I stay on my path or start a new journey? I get that you're already on a new journey. Okay, This American Mutt. And it's involving your communications and the way that you interact with others. And then I got 12th house in Libra. When I get this, it means that there's a lot of discernment that's going on behind the scenes regarding the way that you review other people. You are working on your divine discernment. Okay, that is the main issue that you are having in life right now. Okay, because Saturn is really strong, and you said you had some strong Sagittarian energy in your house, so you're really you're questioning things a lot more. Okay. So, oh, you're welcome, sweetie. So the energy I got is, if you look at the discernment card, you can see the bird here, and it's surrounded by material things. Okay. This is a very physical way of understanding your awareness. Okay. They're asking you to go a little bit deeper. Okay. Pay attention to how your body feels after you are in and around another person's energy, and focus on each of your chakra centers, starting from your Muladhara, which is your where you evacuate. Okay, are you having issues going to the bathroom? That means that that person is affecting your survival in some way, or that you don't feel safe. Okay, if you feel it in the if you feel blocked or unhappy in the private area, there could be some joy, or the sacral area is what we call it. There could be some stadhisthana. There could be some blocks there. Pay attention to your gut. Are you getting stomach flips, digestive stuff, like, oh, you're just feeling a little sick to your stomach? Pay attention to your heart. Well, how does your heart space feel when being in and around this particular person? Do you feel free to open it? Do you trust this person with that? Pay attention to your throat. Can you say the truth or what you're really feeling or thinking around this person? Pay attention to your intuition. This is what they're trying to develop for you, because that is the whole purpose of being here. Because if we don't have the physical body, we rely on this, which is our spiritual body, our astral body. And that will help you connect to the crown, which is the Sahasrara, and to your guides. People in and around in your environment can block you from your guides, sweetie, and that's what I'm seeing. And your guides are trying to get through, and these traumas are what's causing it. Instead of asking what's wrong with me when you're around these people, literally say, wow, that was really interesting. That will help you be more objective into the energies that are in and around your environment. Because when your body is reacting to a given situation or a person, because I'm getting a lot of this around you, you need to stop looking outside of yourself for answers. Because if you look at the bird in the previous one, he's literally around trees. He's very much in the physical. He's very much in the physical here. Okay. Sit with yourself and listen to what your body's telling you, and stop getting advice from the outside world for entertainment purposes only, because the outside world is it's good, but you need to go in. Okay. The reason I say that is you're going through a bit of an ascension. Okay. I got the ascension card. Now look at the bird here. There's no physical energy in or around the bird. It's just signs and symbols from spirit. It's all spirit. Okay. That's that 12th house energy they're asking you to tap into. You're following a spiritual path, and ascension is the ultimate goal. Okay, sweetie. So it's portrayed in art and literature as a great leap in instant nirvana, but actually it's a giant mountain we all have to climb, and it's very difficult. Okay, it's not a romantic journey. All right, it's messy. All right. So whether you're conscious of this or not, you are walking toward ascension. Okay. Each experience, relationship, obstacle, joy, and creation is going to bring you closer on the ladder to where we all end. So you're going up the rungs of the ladder toward understanding things on a more spiritual level and on a less physical level. That's what they're showing me. So the situation at its best is a rung on the ladder towards your soul's ascension. That's what they're showing me. So your guides are assisting you on this ladder. Work looking at the bigger picture, and know that you are bigger than any of the issues or problems that you currently have. And pay attention to the symbols. Pay attention to the guides. They are sending them to you all the time, but you do need to kind of step away from the blocks in your environment so that you can hear them more clearly. Okay? I hope that was helpful, and I'm sending you lots of love as you do that. Okay, sweetie? And people's advice has failed me, and you do feel it yourself. It's draining and your stomach hurts every day. I feel everyone's energy. Oh, girl, you got to get yourself into a spiritual practice. Okay. You're an empath and you're taking on all the yuck. So that's what they're having you do. Get out of the physical and step into a spiritual practice. If you don't know how to do that, there are a lot of people in the community, including Jonathan and I, that offer services and things that you can do to kind of step into that. One of the main things that I suggest you do is just sit in meditation or prayer for at least 5 minutes every day. If that's all you can do, do something physical, go out in nature, but look for signs from spirit and go in. Don't go out for advice, go in. Okay. So they're also saying don't continue to go from channel to channel or person to person asking for advice or readings, because this is something that you need to do on your own. That's what they're telling me. You're looking outside for the answers. You're not going to find them there. That's the main thing. All right, sweetie. So oh my gosh, I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you tons of love as you do that. But yeah, start maybe going online and looking at ways to develop a spiritual modality to create some very necessary blocks for you in protecting that beautiful energy. Okay, sweetie? And yeah, come back and let us know how you're doing. All right, hon? And then we have Emma next. And just before we get to Emma, we have NN, we have Blessed One, we have Sharon O'Brien, we have Joby, we have Charlene, and we have Rishi. And welcome, Lilima. It's good to see you. All right, Jonathan.
Okay, Emma. Like Michelle explained at the beginning, I am going to ask you questions and, give you an answer based on that. So I know you're here, but will I hear from my friend David soon? And where do you see the relationship going? When's the last time you heard from David? Just go ahead and leave a comment. Yeah, in TV, they call this dead air.
While we're waiting to hear from Emma, if Emma is here, because just to let everybody know, the reason we require everyone to be in the audience is Jonathan's a philosopher. He worked with yoga students and is a guru for a long time and under a guru. And so part of that, his methodology is question and answer. Okay, there we go.
About 3 months ago, he lives in Canada. I'm guessing you do not live in Canada. So I'm here. Okay. So again, I'm just going to look at this from a male looking at a relationship with a male and a female, and the female is curious about the male's contact frequency, and it was once in the last 3 months. So I'm going to tell you something about males. I think I qualify as a male. You know, I've been one for 73 years, so I'm gonna take that hat and put it on here. If a guy wants to be in touch with a woman that he's interested in, he will be in touch with her. And it's not going to take 3 months. If the guy is working for the military and he's in ADAC or something, that's different. If this is just a guy walking around with a cell phone and you haven't heard from him for 3 months, why? I can think of a few reasons. Most of them you don't want to hear. So here's what I would suggest you do. Pick up your phone, call David, and say, what's up? I haven't heard from you for 3 months. You know, this is not the old days where, you know, it's like, you know, pinkies up on the teacup. You've got to take action to manage your relationship. And again, if he's, let me just, 3 months, he lives in Canada, you're here in Indiana. Okay, well, how are we communicating right at this moment? We have electronic methodologies of communicating that can put this live image on your phone or computer. Now, it's possible he doesn't have any of those things. Maybe I'm doing this guy wrong, but I know, for example, if I wanted to speak to this woman, this woman here, I would be able to do it. And I would find a methodology to do it. So, Emma, I'm just going to give you the guy's answer and say, keep looking. Or contact him and say, hi, I haven't heard from you in 3 months. How bad was the auto accident? Again, I'm not trying to make light of this. I know that, you know, emotional situations are difficult. But if you want to just be standing out there waiting for this guy to contact you, you're doing the right thing. If you want this to turn into a relationship, you're going to have to pick up the phone, computer, whatever, and contact this guy. And I would say, hey, where are we going? I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you for 3 months, and I had to call. I had to go online and ask a strange man who was shouting into his camera, call this guy, you know. Again, I'm just going to give you the guy viewpoint. If I had not heard from you for 3 months, I would assume that you had moved on. Whether you'd had a great relationship or no relationship at all, if I don't hear from you for 3 months and I don't know that you're unavailable or on a work assignment or in the hospital or whatever, that's telling. And I say this, you know, I kid around a little bit and I might sound a little harsh. I have a heart for women. Women are treated very badly in our culture. And you're being treated very badly, in my opinion. So I would contact him, find out what's going on. And it sounds like the relationship is not going. It sounds like it has gone. But you need to know that so that you can go too. Okay. I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to be wrong. I doubt if I'm wrong. Yeah, movie director. Are you sure? So again, I'm a friend of women. I hope Michelle will back me up on that. I am a friend of women, but guys tell me stuff because they don't know that. And I have heard a lot of stuff about, man, I'm running this one and I'm gaming that one and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I look at this guy and say, you ought to be hit in the head, thrown in the ground, and covered over with rocks. What? That's my game, man. Yeah, it's a game to you, but it's not a game to them. You're wasting people's time. You're also wasting your own time. So that's all I'll have to say about this. I do hope that you find out positive information and it works out well for you. And it may be that this guy says, nah, it's not working out. Find someone else. Find someone else. It's a big world. Find an affinity group and look at those folks. That's how we met.
Okay, Emma, we're sending you lots of love, and please come back and let us know how you're doing. And yeah, that those are rough. Like I've gone through that as well. So okay, so I'll just let everybody know questions are closed because we've been here for 3 hours. We did get you in Lalima, so thank you. I'm going to go ahead and do Rishi's really quick, and then we'll get to yours, Lalima, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay? And she goes, I thought it was what you were saying. Okay, all right, Emma, all right. And you're very welcome. We're sending you lots of love as you go through that, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do Rishi, and then we're going to do one for Lalima, and I believe we have Sharon O'Brien here as well. And then we'll go ahead and move on. If anyone else is here, please let us know. Check in like they did, and we'll go ahead and get to you. So Rishi, I'd appreciate a general reading, please. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be it's going to be quick because your guys were very, very clear with me, Rishi. I got Taurus and I got Sagittarius. Taurus is all about how we maintain our material security, our savings account, our money. Sagittarius is asking you to focus all of your wherewithal, all of your passion, all of your energy into this, okay? But when I pulled the Sagittarian card, I got a very, very scattered energy when I tapped into you, okay? And I got the reverse wheel of fortune, which tells me that you have been trying to stabilize your monetary situation in your life moving forward, and it has not been good, okay? You're meeting up with a lot of misfortune. I said, what is the element that is keeping Rishi unfortunate in this area? And I got the Two of Pentacles reversed, okay? You have a very busy mind. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of instability in there. There's a very hectic pace in there. There's a lot of irritability, some nervousness. You're focusing on two or more things at once, and it's keeping you from really focusing on one thing at a time, okay? You're struggling to balance because in this card, he's all about balancing. It's upside down. He's dropping the ball, okay? So trying to stay flexible is draining when you're being pulled in all of these different mental directions. So you're not able to keep everything going at once, and then you drop everything and you have to pick it up again. So it's just like I get a very hectic, like a lot of things going on, kind of stuff. So I'm getting a lot of changeability in your mindset. I'm getting a lot of in and outs. So making sure that this isn't you. I am getting that this is you, but so I asked the guides. I said, okay, what can Rishi do to kind of help this very Rajasic back and forth mental energy that I'm picking up on? Okay. Nothing seems to be working out. That's why I got the reverse wheel of fortune. Okay. You need to work on your mental state, Rishi. That's the main thing that I got. Okay. And then how you're directing your mental state towards your actions and toward your stability moving forward. So I pulled the Ancient Wisdom card. So nature is the perfect place to center yourself and ground out all of this excessive noise that I'm hearing in your head. Okay. And nature, that's where all of the secrets of the universe are held. And in the Vedas, we call them the yakshas, or the nature spirits. Okay. They can be a fierce energy, like a raging sea in a storm, which is Vayu and Varuna energy, or it could be a nurturing, loving energy of like a grove of trees here. That's what they're asking you to step into. Step out of the storm in your mind and enter this beautiful grove of trees. Get out in nature and listen to what she has to tell you. As far as waiting, okay, there's much to learn from nature. The trees, they just want to be trees. They're not trying to be anything else. They're not trying to be a boulder, okay? Deer are they're just deer. They can accept the fact that they're deer, okay? Don't try to get an extreme makeover to try to become a bear if you're a deer, is what they're saying. You're trying to kind of step into something that doesn't really vibe with your energy. And the energy vibration they're showing me is so different than the human experience that you're struggling with it a little bit. Okay. Very, very Rajasic mind. Back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So they're saying you need to get to know thyself. All right. You're being asked to come at peace with who you are and what you have to offer the situation. All right. Because when you're able to ground yourself out in nature and come from a very calm place where you can still those thoughts that I see going back and forth and back and forth, that's the main issue that I'm seeing. And yes, moon mantras can help. The best mantra for the moon, and actually is Parvati. She actually is the Pratyadi Devata for the moon, and she helps us with these more Rajasic mind, and she also helps us with the tamas in the mind too, because she's the female half of Shiva. So I will give you a mantra now to kind of help you move forward. I might have given this to you already, but this is a little longer one. Om Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Tramike Gauri Narayane Namostute. And that is to Goddess Parvati in her form of Gauri. That is her form that is cultured and refined and goes out in the world and makes a name for herself. Okay, she's the golden form of Parvati. She can also help you with a lot of the challenges and things that are coming your way. But the divine feminine is there to help you. Mes Malgaur, yes. So that is a mantra that you can do on moon days or Mondays. You can do that 108 times via Amala. And I highly recommend that you go out in nature and you connect with the spirits there, because that's going to help calm the mental energy that's blocking your ability to move forward. Okay, Rishi, I hope that was helpful, sweetheart. And I'm sending you lots of love, okay? All right, so we are going to get to Lalima's question, and then we'll get to Sharon O'Brien next. Actually, is it okay if you do Sharon O'Brien, Jonathan, while I pull cards for Lalima? Does that work?
Sure.
I can put it up for you. Okay, she just wants a regular lightning round reading. If you have something a little more specific, Sharon, I'll let Jonathan know. Otherwise, just do a Q&A back and forth with him, because he does need a little more information. He does not pull cards. He literally just taps in. He's very introverted and very good at meditation. So if you can give us a little bit more, especially if you're still here. I'm so glad that was helpful, Rishi. Take care. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. So Sharon, are you still here, honey? If not, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to Miss Lalima, because Miss Lalima is our next question. And thank you for being patient as I pull cards for all of you. Ooh, okay. Getting good cards for you, Miss Lalima. So Sharon O'Brien, can you please post a more specific question in for Jonathan? We'd really appreciate it. Are you still here? Okay. Do you want guys all three for her? Okay, we'll do all three for her. So we're just waiting to hear from you, Sharon. Please let us know if you're here. In the meantime, I'm just pulling cards for you, Lalima, okay? Ooh, very interesting. Ooh. Okay. Okay, if we don't hear from you, sweetie, we're going to go ahead and move on, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds, because we've been here for a long time. We've been here for over 3 hours, okay? It's a little long for us. Yes, Lalima is here, and I am getting ready for your reading, Lalima. Okay. You're welcome. You're so sweet. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Lalima, and we hope you can join us again, Sharon. Thank you. All right, so Lalima, I was searching for a job with the clinic, the Krishna Play School. Currently, I have 2 offers, MMR Hospital and Messina Hospital. What would be the better choice? Okay. So let me ask which one of these cards means that one. So I'm going to do, first I'm going to do MMR Hospital and then Messina. MMR Hospital. Okay. And then I'm going to do the Messina one. Okay, I'm getting that there are going to be challenges with both. Okay, but the Messina one is looking a little better, but there are going to be some issues with both of them. So I'm going to give you a general on both, because the first one, I'm seeing that there's going to be a male in place that is his actions aren't in alignment with divine order, and then the second one, there's a female in place whose mental actions are not involved with the divine order. So there's a person blocking each position. So I'm going to give you an overall and help you make a decision based off of that. Okay. The first thing I got was that you are going to be successful, because I got Libra and I got Jupiter. Okay. Brihaspati is one of the best cards to get. He is the giver of boons. He is our guru. We love him. Libra is, he's going to help you balance out relationships in both, either of these that you choose. Okay. Because I got that there's going to be a little delay with the first one, with the MMR Hospital and the Messina. It's going to be available a lot sooner, but then it's going to cause some mental angst. Okay. So the first card that you're going to have to be really, really aware of, and just the overall energy that you're going to be aware of, is that there's going to be some opposition that you're encountering, but don't worry, it can work for your benefit. Okay. Be very clever and observant in dealing with destructive behavior and disappointing news. Again, I got this from both places. So this is something that has to do with the organization as a whole. Okay. So evaluate any risk that you're taking encountering the relationships, and try to stay rational and careful, even in the face of broken promises or moods from others. So be very logical, be very persistent, use every trick you know without resorting to being immoral or illegal moving forward. And you may be tempted to stand up to someone, or things like that. But they're saying that a wise counselor can help you see the self-created problems and eliminate the negative behavior problems that you're seeing in the interaction with both of these entities. So they're telling me that this is kind of a spiritual test that Spirit is putting you through to help you better move forward as an agent of change and self-actualization. Okay, that's the main thing they're saying. You're kind of stepping into your confidence here. Once you do that, they're saying go for it. Both are open, okay? But you're going to have to set some of those, like I said, you're going to have to watch for this, all right? Notice that it's going to work out for you, because he's stepping into a little his own trap there, all right? So if you come about this very logically, you're not going to get stuck there. There's going to be a lot of big improvements once you're able to set these boundaries in both of these positions, because I'm seeing a block in both of them. So, yeah, they're saying improvements are possible in ways that you cannot see, and cannot allow yourself to be distracted or sidetracked as they occur. Okay. Get in this race and win it, is what they're saying. Don't think of that. They're saying don't think a better time is going to come along soon. Procrastinate and you will lose. Okay. If travel is involved in the situation and you can't drive there, then try to find a way to get there. Okay, because they're saying make your move and do it now. You need to be strong. You need to withstand the rigors of what is required. They're saying working out and exercising is something else that you kind of need to do to stay connected to your body and for self-care. But they're saying harness your willpower, your self-control, your self-confidence, and you will win. I got this upside down for the debate we just had at the United States. I just for you. That's good. Okay, you're on the right track, but you're going to have to create some boundaries with that. I got some reverse Queen of Swords and reverse King of Wands energy to watch for from both positions. Okay, that's the main stuff I'm getting. The first position is the King of Wands. The second is the Queen of Swords reversed. So I asked overall, what can you bring into the situation? And the first one I got is there going to be a lot of sensitive emotions involved. I got Larimar. This might be a stone you can look into. We have it all over the Washington area. Times of heightened emotions and sensitivity call for self-care and gentleness. I think that's why they're calling you toward, self-care practices and really looking out for yourself as you go through these these various energies, especially with a new career. Let's see if you're saying anything here. Okay. So the second one I got was a chariot. That's well, much like the chariot. It's a beautiful purple stone here, okay? And it's spiritual protection. You are being watched over and protected physically, emotionally, and energetically. Like I said, you came from the medical plane, so you have a whole host of guides that are keeping you safe as you go through this journey. Know that any obstacles that you come across are there to teach you. The third one I got was citrine, okay? And see the beautiful dove rising above the Manipura chakra there. And it's unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worry and give them to God or Goddess for healing and solutions. Okay, so this tells me that you need to sit in meditation, possibly hold a citrine to help that Manipura energy with worry, doubt, frustrations that come from the work environment. And then the last card I got for you to kind of step into this new energy is I got the Ascension card for you. Okay, this is all about paying attention to those signs and symbols from spirit. You are ascending, and what comes with ascending is there is going to be a falling away of energies that no longer serve you. I think that's why there's a bit of a barb that I see in both positions. They're there to test you and your resolve. Okay, so know that they're assisting you on this ladder as you're moving up it. They're bringing you one close. They're bringing you closer to a greater awareness of yourself, so that you can step into being an MD with confidence. Okay, this situation at its best is that you are literally grabbing onto the next rung that your guides are giving you, and you're pushing yourself up. Once you do that, another one will appear. That's the reason for the obstacles in both positions. One is a divine masculine energy that is not acting appropriately. The other one is a divine feminine energy, and she is not mentally acting out very well. Okay, so you're going with both job, you're going to find this obstacle. It's to help you ascend. Once you pass it, you're going to be able to go up the rung. Okay, man, you came here for a lot of lessons, Lalima. So ooh, I can relate to both. The hospital is male and female heads respectfully. Yeah, there you go. So the female head and the male head are a little out of balance, but you know how to handle them. Okay, so that's the good news. MMR will be a little less hectic than Messina, hence I was considering that more so as to balance with the clinic better. Okay, well, I did get that there wasn't as much of a fight, but there is the issue with the reverse energy there. And then this one, there could be some delays. Okay. But then there was got the reverse energy there. Okay. So that is kind of what I'm trying to point out to you is that regardless of which clinic you choose, you're going to run into some obstacles, but they're to help you ascend spiritually. They're literally from your guides to help you set a boundary that'll help you build a better foundation for your practice as a doctor moving forward. Okay, sweetie. All right. I'm excited to see what Jonathan has to say for you. I'm sending you lots of love.
Well, honestly, it sounds like you've made your decision, and it sounds like Michelle just came on the decision that you'd already made. Um, and I've worked in hospitals. I actually spent years working in a hospital. My mother was a nurse, so I was around hospitals when I was a kid. They had the best vending machines. And then I spent a lot of time working in a hospital. There's the environment of the hospital, and then there's the people you work with, and then there's the people that you, or the person that you are guided by your boss or the administrative head or whatever you want to call it. It sounds to me like you've already made a decision. I'm looking at your comment. Yeah, balance with clinic better. So, I don't have a lot to add to your own sort of opinion and decision here. Little less hectic. You know, you can't really judge a clinic or a hospital unless you've worked in it for a long time, whether it's less hectic or more hectic, because these things, when you make an appointment at a hospital, it's because you're already in crisis. Nobody calls and makes an appointment for 6 months out in the hospital. They make an appointment in the ambulance on the way there. So the thing that I would suggest that you do is, which one you want to pick. You just don't want to make a bad decision. I'm there several times a day. I understand exactly what that means. But you have your working circumstances and you have the workload. Your work circumstances are going to be over time probably more important than the workload because the people that you work around, the environment in which you work, just the look and feel of where you are. I mean, I worked in a hospital. I was in first a clinic area. I was a clinic clerk, and it was very nice. You know, it was a hospital in Chicago, not like you see on TV. This was a real hospital. There were no plants in the hallways, but it was very clean. It was very nice. It was very well maintained at the time, and I was miserable. And so I looked for another position in the hospital, and I actually moved into the basement into what was called media services, which sounds like they're making TV shows. No, it was the media upon which bacteria was grown. You have to have certain materials because bacteria A grows in this and bacteria B dies in that. So you have a whole mix of things you have to do. That was a fantastically good working environment because the people were so nice and helpful and calm when I made an error when I was first there. They showed me a lot of things. They allowed me to expand and do as much as I wanted to do and understood when I didn't feel comfortable doing some stuff. The clinic, all they wanted me to do was to sit there and type 14 hours a day until my shoulders blew up, you know. So there's an old saying about something that I won't mention that says you'll know it when you see it. And it sounds like you've already kind of made your decision. You're just looking for advice like go with your gut. That's what I'm telling you. You know, go with your gut. If one seems like it's better, it probably is. You know, especially in a hospital, they don't put up a lot of artifice. You know, it's just like, boom, this is who we are. You know, hope that helps.
Oh, thank you for joining us, Lalima. And she says, yes, totally agree. Okay, you got this, girl. You got all of it. I'm so impressed by you. So, thank you for being a bright light in a dark world. We really do appreciate your energy, sweetie. And Sharon did pop back in. So, just to let you know, Sharon, I pulled a couple of cards for you, and then we're going to go ahead and close out because no one else checked in. Okay, we only have a few stragglers. Miss Sharon, let me go find your question here. Okay, I saw that you posted it above. Is my health going in the right direction? I got no. Okay, I got that you're going to need to make some major changes. I got the death card. This doesn't mean physical death. Okay, it just means that you get to start all over again. Yay. Okay, and there's going to be some delays because I got the 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, so you are going to have to step up and start over again, and there will be some delays in the recovery process. But know that you are headed in another direction that's best for you. So I went to my other deck, my Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, and guess what I got? I got the death card. Okay. So death is scary. Endings, whether they're planned or a surprise, they're usually accompanied with a lot of anxiety or unease or denial or refusal to kind of let go of our habits or relationships or situations that kind of got us there. Your guides are going to fish you out of this. Okay. Endings always signify beginnings. Okay, Sharon. So in this new beginning card, they're saying just go gracefully with the flow. It says these changes take place. Don't attach yourself to your emotions and the energy of what is ending. Okay, because that's just going to cause more anxiety. Feel it, experience it, and then let it go. All right. A slight shift in your perspective that can sometimes help you experience this transition with grace and ease. And instead of thinking, oh no, I have to start all over, literally say to yourself, yay, I get to start all over. And this shift it'll change your energetic vibration and it'll carry you through this time of change. Okay. This also signifies the ending of a troublesome situation. So that's good because that's what you need, especially when it comes to your health. All right. The main way through this, once you go through this ending and you're starting with this new beginning, is you're going to enter a period of integration. Okay, I didn't want to leave you with the death card. I wanted to give you a little bit of hope here. Okay, you are the sum of all of the experience of this and in your previous lives. Okay, so you can bring forward a wealth of talents and knowledge and wisdom to help you through your current health situation. I know that all of us were bombarded every single day with like messages of who we should be, what we should do, what we should wear, how we should live. You got to throw all that away because you're starting over, girl. All right. These messages, they can come from social media, they can come from our family, from our friends, even strangers can drown out who we're really meant to be. And your guides are going, that's not her. We're gonna change the course here because you're a high vibe person. Okay. So what they're saying is find some really quiet moments in your day and identify what needs to what changes you can feel coming. And there's a very small, strong voice inside of you that has been telling you that they are coming. And pretty soon you're not going to hear all the other messages from the outside creeping in. Okay. Many times they're saying in your interactions with other people, that small mind came in and it's telling you that something. So the smaller minds are they're bright. They're going through that small big mind. Okay. So when I say the smaller voice is the bigger mind, the quieter one tends to be the voice of reason, and the loud ones, they tend to be the ones getting in the way. Okay, so your logical mind tells you to stop it, nothing's wrong, stop being silly, stop being dramatic, stop overreacting, but you may ignore your inner voice in a quest to fit in, to be loved, to be admired. You don't realize that your inner voice is warning you that the other person's energy is not matching their words or their actions. They're not giving you the best advice. So listen to your instincts about your health, about your situation right now, because you're going to have to integrate a whole new way of thinking and being into your psyche in order to get through this health issue that they're showing me. Okay. You're going to completely change everything. All right. Whew. Once you do that, you're golden, honey. All right. But know that, yeah, things are going to change. The death of the old is going to bring in the beginning of the new. Don't fear it. Sit in meditation, listen to that inner voice, and it's the one telling you the truth. Okay, sweetie? And I'm sending you lots of love as you go through that, because death and integration is a process that we all of us go through at different levels in areas of life. And know that your guides are there with you, helping you through this. Okay, sweetie? And I'm sending you lots of love as you do that. All right. Whew. So we are done. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Is there anything you would like to add regarding the Boomer Mill, Jonathan, and what we have going on there?
Well, we're going to do our third episode, and we're working on the fun-filled, fact-laden script for that right now. And we're very, very happy that so many people have watched the videos and are getting a lot out of it. I'm really, really much encouraged by the response. And Michelle could tell you I'm not an encouraged kind of guy, but I'm really, really pleased that people seem to be resonating with it. And we hope to do a lot more.
So thank you all so much for being with us today. I'm going to be here next week with Sherry from Voices of the Swamp. I'm also going to be on Marina's show on Tuesday, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. And that's at 6 o'clock Pacific on Tuesday next week. So please join us there. And please like, follow, subscribe to the Boomer Mill. It's a brand new channel that we're doing. And we really appreciate everyone here in the audience for your time and your energy. And we're sending you all tons of love as you move into the next week. So take care. Please follow, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much.